Shalom, shalom. This video, it's going to be two parts. This will be more like think of this as an intermission because I'm actually, if you've been paying attention to my channel, I've been doing the polygyny series dealing with the anti-poly community, which I do have another one coming up very shortly. But this one I felt compelled to go ahead and bring this out to the YouTube platform. Shout out to Brother Mosh and Brother Judah. I actually did a video with these brothers back in November of 2020. It started with me and Mosh. We was having a conversation. It was just a regular general conversation. And he was asking me, like about advice about, I believe it was about maybe advice about women in the community. He wanted to know my take on things. So anyway, the conversation was really, really good. And he was like, man, we should have recorded that. And then I was like, you know what? I think this is as far as I remember because it's been so long. But long story short, we ended up recording it. But it was the first time that I had opened up to how I really feel about the Israelite women. So what you're about to see is the first time I've like poured my heart out in a sense on this actual topic. And it ended up being so good that I decided that, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and put this video on my YouTube channel. So what the footage you're about to see goes back from November of 2020. I'm going to do a part 2 because what I did was later, I believe maybe it was around that time period as well, November, December 2020 as well. I ended up typing out a post as well. And what I typed out, I have been getting a lot of feedback on it. People been inboxing me saying, yo, brother, that was really good. It was really powerful. You need to make that a video, So today I'm going to do that. I'm going to make part 2 today. All right. But I may not release part 2 until later, So just make sure you watch this one first. And then when part 2 comes, you'll be ready to go ahead and do that one because I'm going to go ahead and do part 2 today. But anyway, myself, Mosh, and then Judah, each one of us gave our perspective and our lane, how we view it, whether I may agree with another Judah or Mosh or vice versa. We all said how we feel. So sisters, you get to hear it from perspectives of how certain men feel. And believe it or not, a lot of brothers feel this way. The feedback I got was crazy. Crazy. So sit down and learn something. And this is only for sisters who desire to have a husband. You don't want to be a baby mama and you tired of just being single. These 2 videos will be for you. This video and the next one that will be coming most high willing. All right. So sit down and listen. Viewer discretion is advised, because y'all know Judah, he go in, So sit down and learn something. Israelite sisters, if you are tired of being single and you just tired of being some baby mama, you might want to sit and watch this. So we're going to go ahead and get it going, and I'll be doing part 2 today, but I may not release it today. I may release it later, most high willing. It's all most high willing, of course. And after that, I'll be back on my polygyny rants, if you will. So it's going to go down. So definitely take heed. Are Israelite sisters worth marrying?
What it do?
Yo, shalom. I need Yehuda Hayora. I'm Judah the Shooter.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing fancy like that. Shit, I'm just Mosh.
I'm just Mosh.
Yeah, I can't speak the beautiful lingo.
Yeah, we're gonna wait for some of y'all to climb on in. I guess we got a bit of a special treat today. Especially coming from me, because you might hear some things that you've never heard me say.
Yeah, y'all about to get some nuggets, man. We was just in there chopping it up.
Yeah.
Then folk was like, fuck it, let's go live, man.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Because y'all know if y'all saw the first video this morning, I know I've been up basically 24 hours. And I got up to use the restroom, talked to him for a little second, and now he tricked me into staying up.
That's right. You shouldn't have came over there messing with me, man.
Right.
You know, I'm always thinking about something, so.
Yeah, so I caught him in the midst of him thinking, and now it's led us to do this video. So y'all about to hear some exclusive talk. You know, when I tell you exclusive, some things probably gonna get dropped that again I've never openly spoke about. You know what I'm saying? Shalom mishpacha. I mean shalom family. Yeah, shalom, shalom.
So check it out, and I'm gonna read some of the comments from what I had posted on here too. So y'all see the title of it is basically going into our Israelite sisters worth marrying, and what I mean by Israelite sisters, because let me clear it up.
Yeah.
Because most people be like, yeah, you talking about going to the other nations? No, it's not what we talking about.
Not at all.
We ain't talking about none of that. What we talking about is the sisters who know they Israel and they don't have a hedge, but they follow a lot of doctrines or a lot of camps, or they've been doing this a while and they've never had a hedge. Are they worth dealing with based on some of the things that they bring to the table?
Gosh.
Or yeah, absolutely. Or is it better? Are you better off maybe finding a sister in the world? Let's say you go to the gym or your job or whatever, and it might be a sister that you've been knowing for a while. Is you better off bringing someone like that in? So we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah. So he basically asked me what was my take on it or whatnot. And this is something that's always kind of been on my mind that I've never openly spoke about. I don't never recall ever even talking about this to anybody. You know what I'm saying? I've never heard of it. And sisters, if you're watching this, in all humbleness, I'm saying just sit here and listen, because if you are a sister that's in the truth and know you're Israel, that you are seeking for a husband, a righteous husband, you might want to take heed and pay attention to what it is that we are about to say. So, I'm going to say this. As of right now in 2020, this is a man with 3 wives. I have 3 wives. All my wives, bro.
Oh, I love his wives. I told him he took the last 3 good ones in America, to the point where I'm telling brothers they got to go somewhere else. Right. That's how good his wives are. He got some good ones.
My wives are very submissive. We don't argue. You know what I'm saying? Take my first wife, for example. Been with her since 2011. First off, I ain't never heard my wives yell. I ain't never heard them raise their voice. We never had one case of domestic violence. I don't put my hands on women. I'm totally against that. There was no abuse going on in my household. We literally get along. We have fun. We like friends too. You know what I'm saying? We kick it. You know, we crack jokes. We literally have fun. We travel. We do things like that. But I say that to say that I love women. All right. Do you hear me? I got 3. And eventually I'm going to take a 4th one. However, if I had a choice, when I take my 4th wife, if I had a choice of a sister who's in the truth versus a sister who is not in the truth, but she does believe in the Bible, she does believe in Christ, and she has the potential to want to learn, I would probably take my chances with the one who's not in the truth. Simply because, now hear it. Now one for you be like, oh, see, here, go get this carno. Well, you got to remember, sister, and again, this, look, mainly, I'm really talking to you sisters in this aspect, because I do know that a lot of y'all desire to be a wife, whether you desire monogamy or polygyny. Both of them are beautiful. So, you sisters, you have to watch how you move when you're in the truth. If us as men, if we see y'all arguing, if we see you hanging with dragons, if we see you being prideful, we see that, and we're going to be hesitant on dealing with you. Why? Because if we see you doing that online, if we see you doing that out and about, we know that you're going to bring that type of behavior more than likely to us. And as a man of the Lord, we not going to want to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And get this, sister, you may have a lot of good potential about you, but one thing I've noticed, and again, this is coming from a man who's learned in the Bible. You know, if you know me personally, you know that I'm very learned in the Bible. I'm not a beginner. I read the Bible in Hebrew. You know, I know the deepest breakdowns. Guess what, sisters? I've come to notice that when a lot of you sisters that the Most High probably has blessed with the gift to learn the Bible a certain way, I watch how you treat your men.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that is, let's say you've been into the truth 5 and 6 years, and then you got this brother who you are attracted to. You get him, and I've watched a lot of you women mold the man into your personal helpmeet.
Right.
So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, if the brother originally wanted to be polygynous, right? Just hypothetically, and that's, we ain't even gotta say polygyny. Let's just say he originally wanted to do something. I've watched some of you sisters and sisters culture men on how you need him to be for you, and what he do. You got the Bible real quick?
Oh,
grab First Ezra chapter 4. This is something that I see all the time.
4 and what?
4 and 27, real quick. 26.
First Ezra chapter 4, verse 26. Yeah, many there be that have run out of their wits for women.
I've seen you women drive these men to their wits' end. What else to say?
And become servants.
And become what?
Servants.
Not become his ruler. I've watched these men become the servant to their wife. Let's start that again. Maybe you sisters didn't catch that. Start again.
Yeah, many
There be that have run out of their wits for women.
For who?
For women.
For who?
For women.
Man, these women are driving these men to their wits' end.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And become servants for their sakes.
The woman is supposed to be the servant, the helpmeet to him. But the man, in this aspect, the tables are now turned.
Yeah.
What else to say?
Verse 27. Many also have perished.
Many also have perished, meaning they have died.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Have erred and sinned.
Erred.
Yep.
I mean, erred. Mean they going off.
Mm-hmm.
Erred and what?
And sin.
And sin even broke the law of the Most High. For who?
For women.
So I see this commonly in our community. These women, bro, they have this mindset of, well, you know, since I've been in the truth longer than you, you know, and this hasn't happened to me, but this is things I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Even directly or indirectly, they have this attitude of, since I've been in the truth longer than you, and I've studied under Elder Mosh or Elder Judah, you can't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
So before you know it, people like me and him are the enemies to Lil Johnny up the street. Why? Because his wife would rather listen to us rather than to her own husband.
Mm-hmm.
So you brothers, in a sense, you put it at a disadvantage when you get the sister in the truth. Why? Because at this point, she don't only see you as her husband, she sees the person who she's learning from as her husband. Whether she directly says it or openly. Go ahead, brother.
And she gets to pick and choose what she wants to listen to. It depends on what sounds good to her. That's that itching ears that it goes into. It's so much stuff that you have to peel through and then convince them of to make it. Because what it is they treat it as, you got to convince me that I should pick you. So then you find yourself trying to sell yourself to this woman. That's what you end up doing. You're trying to sell yourself to her. See, what I'm telling you, sis, is better than what that leadership that you reverence. So you should listen to me. And not only what I'm saying is better, then sis, I'm going to be the one that can take care of you too. And see all these things that I can do for you. I have money, and I can drive this car, and I can do this, that, and the third. You're selling yourself.
Yeah, you're literally auctioning off yourself.
Right.
If you will. You're prostituting yourself spiritually is what you're doing. So at this point, it's like, she is like, I'm going to share something with y'all. There was a sister I was courting. Really good sister. Has a lot of great potential. But she studied up under a camp. And I'm not going to say their names because you know me, I name drop. But right now, that's not important. She studied up under a camp of this particular group that I didn't particularly agree with as far as concerning their doctrine. But I do like the fact that they do teach order with women. So that's good. So I spent more time of literally, and it didn't even try to happen this way. I spent more time. Hold on, we got some pass on. I spent more time debating her over doctrine than actually trying to get to know her. So, in one aspect, she was this blessing, but in the next aspect, it would be things would be going good, and then she'll say something I disagree with, and I'd be like, "Nah," because the script say this, and then what she'll do, she'll say what she learned from some other camp. And again, at this point, this ain't about a camp right now. This is about you dealing with a woman that you don't necessarily agree with what it is that she believes and teach. Your job is you're going to correct her. But what happens when you try to correct her? No, see, because this scripture say this in 2nd Ezra. And it may say that. But you may have taken that out of context. Or get this. It may do say that, but now you are busy spending too much time arguing with her versus you getting to know her. Is she going to submit? Is she going to listen? Is she going to obey? So in a sense, her husbands are the ones she wished that she could have, which is the ones that she's watching on that screen. You get what I'm saying? And what happens if it come down to you don't agree with what they teaching, but she loves that particular group and she watches them? Before you know it, what's she gonna do? She gonna be sneaking off, committing spiritual fornication, learning from another man. You get what I'm saying? So now you are now put at odds. So that's why we ask, is it really worth the headache with dealing with sisters that's already in the truth? You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
go ahead.
And real quick, somebody, I saw you post something, DJ. Can you explain what you mean by Romans 14:4 before I make a comment on it? Explain to me what you mean. But in the meantime, go ahead.
Romans 14 is going over one who believes he can eat all things according to the faith, and the other one eateth herbs. You know what I'm saying? But that
right, he made a statement. He made a statement on verse 4 though. Before I say anything.
Yeah.
I want to see what he mean.
So going with this, most men know that we are now put in a bit of a disadvantage because we see the sisters coming into the truth. We see the hair wraps. We see the dresses. We see the modesty. We see the shalom, my king. We see that. But behind that dress is a dragon in the head wrap. And we also see that. We see how you act and how you conduct yourself when you are mean and when you're being prideful online. We see those things, and at that point it's like, dang, do we really want to deal with that? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what? If possible, if I had to choose, I would choose the woman who's not into the truth and bringing her into this walk versus with taking my chances on a woman who's already been in the truth. Why? Because at this point, she may not have high mileage in the bedroom, but she got high mileage under how many doctors that she's been up under. You know what I'm saying? Right. And at that point, if she's been studied up under this camp, studied up under that camp, studied up under that camp, yeah, that beautiful woman is going to be a problem.
Right.
You know, and again, sisters, this ain't to down you. This is to basically you while you getting the inside. Take heed.
Right. This is all it is. It's an open conversation between men who we counsel and speak to on a regular. So we just giving you insight. It's not every man's gonna make his own decision as well as you sisters are gonna do the same. But having the information and the knowledge, especially if you trying to repent, if you trying to be married, so on and so forth, we gonna give you the truth and we gonna tell you what men think. And we gonna tell you what we say. Is either you're gonna get mad or you're gonna process it and you're gonna say, you know what, I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna change it. That's up to you. But us as men, we gonna keep it moving. This brother said, when I asked him that question, he said we didn't judge other men's servants or wives. The heads of the house taught and did that. You're absolutely right. But in this instance, we're not talking about somebody else's wife in the sense of they're married. They ain't married. We talking about before you get married, which ones would you consider? And when you do consider them, whether they in this world or in the truth, this is what the guidelines and this is what you have to work with. That ain't got nothing to do with marriage and judging anybody, sir.
That's irrelevant to this topic because at this point, no one is married in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? So this is literally just simply giving the inside scoop on what men are thinking. You know what I'm saying? So, but going back, you sisters, I'm going to drop another jewel on you. You ever wonder why you see how you looking for these righteous men and you just can't find a husband? Probably because we see you arguing over Facebook. We see that. And get this, you will see, well, why he go and deal with this carnal woman? Well, guess what? That carnal woman is not just pretty. That carnal woman probably listens and she probably shuts up. I'll give an example. Christ gave a parable in Matthew 21. Let's go to Matthew 21 right quick. So, Matthew 21 is starting verse 27. This is one of the best ways to explain this real quick.
Gotta hit kinfolk up real quick. Matthew 21?
Yeah, Matthew 21 verse 27. Let's grab that right
Matthew
quick.
21 and 27.
Now get this, sisters. And again, I'm being very humble. Hear me. Sisters. When you too busy trying to criticize the sister who he's trying to deal with, and she may looks like a whore right now, right? I want to share something with you. That woman you dogging might be the one that get in the kingdom before you. While you thinking you got everything down pat, and you might be on your way, but you might be on your way to a bad judgment in the end. But let's get it. Matthew 21 starting 27 right quick.
Matthew 21 and 27.
Come on.
And they answered Jesus and said, we cannot tell.
No, my bad. 28. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 21 and 28. Matthew 21 and 28. But what think ye? A certain man had 2 sons.
So here it is. Now he's about to give a parable. Christ is asked this question. What do you think about this? A certain man had 2 sons. 2. Go ahead.
And he came to the first.
He came to the first son
and said, Son, go work today in my vineyard.
Look, go outside and work in the field. That's what he told the first son. Go ahead.
He answered and said, I will not. But
I ain't gonna go. But what?
But afterward.
What happened?
He repented.
He what?
He repented.
So that one who didn't want to obey at first, right? I ain't going. But afterwards, what happened?
He repented.
He repented.
And went.
So in other words, he repented and he ended up going work in the field anyway. Didn't listen at first. Wouldn't keep the commandments at first. But at the drop of a hat, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go. Read.
Verse 30. And he came to the second and said likewise.
So he came and told the second son the same exact thing.
And he answered and said, I go, sir.
So in other words, I'll listen, I'll obey, my Lord.
And went not.
But end up disobeying. Didn't go. Go ahead.
Whether of them twain did the will of his father.
So which one of them two did the will of God? Was it the first son or was it the second? The first one represents you women or us as the wife who are not obeying the Most High but end up listening and obeying and repenting before it's too late. Go ahead.
Whether of them twain did the will of the Father.
Right.
They say unto him the first. Jesus saith unto them, Verily I say unto you, that the publican,
which is the tax collectors, at that time they had a bad reputation to be a tax collector.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And the harlots.
And the who?
Harlots.
The who?
Harlots.
The prostitutes.
Go into the kingdom of God before you.
Look at that. You sisters better humble yourselves. Because the main ones that you calling hoes and prostitutes, they might be the one that's end up making the kingdom. Remember, Rahab was a harlot. Let's not forget that. Hosea chapter 1. Let's grab that right quick.
And another thing too, while we on this matter, sisters, the thing that men care about the most is you being quiet. I'm not interested in how much you know in the Bible. That don't interest me at all. You know why? Because the Lord is going to give me the understanding. The brothers that I deal with are going to give me the understanding. I do not want to try to have an argument and a pissing contest with a woman over scripture. No man wants to do that. No man wants to sit here and go up and down in the Bible with a woman. That's not what you were created for. You created to do what I say regardless of that. That's why when a lot of sisters, you guys will call me and you'll say, well, this is what I believe, and this is how I see things, and what if this, what if that? And I say, sis, that's good and all, but what if your husband says, no, that we're not going to do that? What if your husband says, okay, I see it differently? Then what are you going to do? Because your objective is, if he's not causing you to sin, your objective is to submit in all things. In all things. And that's the thing that you sisters struggle with, is that in your mind, you think that this man is going to be attracted to you and your knowledge and you talking back. No, we don't care about that. I'd rather you go and do what I say and look pretty doing it. That's it. That's for me. Other men got their own little preferences. But you're fitted for that man and not for your own mind and what you want to do.
Yeah. Because understand, sisters, and again, I humbly say this. When you sisters are in the truth and you have all this high mileage with dealing with different doctrines, at this point, we're looking at you as a woman with high mileage. When I say high mileage, we're looking at you as you've been ran through spiritually. So now what we have to do is we have to cleanse you and we have to purify you. No different from, matter of fact, before I go into that, I want to read some. Grab Hosea chapter 1 right quick.
What verse?
Verse 1.
Hosea 1:1.
Watch this. Go ahead.
The word.
You say you can't turn a hoe into a housewife.
The word of the Lord that came unto Hosea, the son of Beeriah, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel.
Come on.
The beginning of the word of the Lord by Hosea. And the Lord said unto Hosea.
Let's see what the Lord said to Hosea.
Go take unto thee a wife of whoredom.
He told him to go and marry a whore. Go ahead.
And children of whoredoms. For the land hath committed great whoredom, departing from the Lord.
Now guess what, guys? Guess what, sisters? I want you to really pay attention to something. The Lord told Hosea to go and marry a whore. Today, you call it a worldly woman, a woman in the world. And that was symbolized as us, as Israel, who are also whores. So when you sisters say, oh, well, you went and married her and blah, 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 that very well may be true. But guess what? The reply to the brothers is, well, the Lord married me. And we were whores. When I say we were whores, we talking spiritually. Israel have committed whoredom, and the Lord married a whore, Israel. You see what I'm saying? For example, grab Jeremiah chapter 3. The Lord did the same exact thing. He married a whore, Israel. Ezekiel 16 is an example. We quote unquote committed adultery. We did commit adultery, but we did what we call cheated on him. But he still took us back.
Jeremiah 3:1.
Come on.
They say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him and become another man's, shall he return unto her again?
Shall he return to that woman again? Go ahead.
Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot.
Thou hast what?
Played the harlot.
Look at what he said about us. He said we played the harlot.
With many lovers.
With who?
Many lovers.
Go ahead.
Yet return again to me, saith the Lord.
But the Lord still took us back. So I say that to say this. The Lord took his women, Israel and Judah, from out of the world, married their whore asses, right? And is doing what to us? He's cleansing us of his filth. Kind of like what we were talking about earlier. About, matter of fact, let's grab it. Hebrews 8. We were talking about the new covenant, right? Let's see what God did with his woman, Israel.
Which one? Hebrews 8 and what?
Hebrews 8 and verse 10.
Hebrews 8 and 10.
We'll give you about 5 seconds to get that real quick. Because I know, man, you know I be moving. All right. So we're going to Hebrews chapter 8. And we're going to read the 10th verse. All right. Go ahead, pull it.
Hebrews chapter 8 verse 10. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord.
So you see that? He's going to make a covenant after those days, saith the Lord. Go ahead.
I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people.
Do me a favor. Read that verse one more time.
For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts. And I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people.
So that is describing how the Lord is going to mold us into the wife that he need us to be. So, for example, let's get another example of that. Ezekiel chapter 36 right quick. Let's see what else he's going to do with his poor wife that he's taken from out of the world.
36
right?
and what?
36 and I believe it's 22. Starting 22.
Ezekiel 36:22. Therefore say unto the house of Israel.
Yeah, that's it.
Thus saith the Lord God, I do not do it for your sakes, O house of Israel,
So I ain't doing this for the sake of you. Go ahead.
but for mine holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen.
Look at what we did. We profaned his holy name among the heathen. We embarrassed him. Go ahead.
Among the heathen whither ye went, and I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them.
Come on.
And the heathen shall know that I am the Lord, saith the Lord God, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes.
Come on.
For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries.
Now wait a minute. So look at what he's going to do. He's going to take his wife and get them away from those other heathens, right? And he's going to do what?
For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land.
Look at that. Hey, get away from them. Come over here with me. That's what I'm going to do. Don't go be amongst them. I'm going to bring you over here. Go ahead.
Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you.
Look at what he's going to do. He's going to what?
Sprinkle clean water upon you.
He's going to sprinkle clean water upon you and what?
And ye shall be clean.
And you shall be what?
Clean.
Come on.
From all your filthiness. And from all your idols will I cleanse you.
Now, let's read the next verse real quick.
A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you an heart of flesh.
Guess what? That's what we as men are thinking in our minds. You know what? I can clean that woman. I can get her as a better woman. I can do the same thing that God did with our whore behinds.
But the thing about it is, when you read this, God is going to do it on his terms. Guess what, sisters? Each man is going to do it on his terms.
Yeah.
Not on your terms. Because you sisters say you want a real man. I don't really think you sisters understand what that means when you say you want a real man. That means he runs everything. It was a sister on the post the other day. She was like, I'm looking for a man who can lead me, not some man who can control me. I said, sis, leading you is controlling you.
Right.
I said, see, you don't even know what a real man is. For you to throw lead in there and then exclude control tells me you have no idea what it is in a man that you're looking for. In what you have with this man, if you do find one, he comes with stipulations. So that means you don't want a real man, because the only person who's going to allow you to have the stipulations that you want is what you call a man that you don't desire.
And can I add to that?
Oh, hell yeah.
Let's go to Sefer Mishali, which is the book of Proverbs, real quick. These same sisters, and again, sisters, if this you watching, you might want to listen up. All right, so what you said sounds good to people who are in the world.
Right.
But he makes a point when he's saying that to lead you is to control you. All right. Now, Proverbs 31, let's grab 11 real quick.
Proverbs what?
Proverbs 31, verse 11.
All right.
Let's go ahead and get it.
Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 11.
Let's start in 10 right quick.
Verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies.
Now, we've all heard this scripture before. Who can find a virtuous woman for her price is what?
Far above rubies.
Go ahead, read verse 11.
Verse 11.
Go ahead.
The heart of her husband does safely
Hold up.
trust.
You might want to sit back and listen, because you're definitely about to learn something. Go ahead.
The heart of her what? Of her husband.
The heart of her what?
Her husband does safely trust in her.
Brother, my question to you is, that word husband, what's that word husband mean in that verse?
Right. Whoever this Hezekiah Israel, he said leading a woman is not controlling.
So he says leading a woman is not controlling a woman. Yes, we are all married. He has
Absolutely.
three. He has 3 wives, and I have 1. Yes, we are married, brother.
So dealing with that in Proverbs.
So hold on, real quick. So I already know you're gonna say some dumb shit and some real smart, even though we answered your question and said yes, we are married. Think of something else dumb to say. I already know where you're going with it.
In Proverbs 31, right? When it say the heart of her husband, we're gonna click on that word real quick. What that say right there for the word Bala or Baal?
Where's
right
that?
here.
As a yoke which binds the master to the servant.
So one, we have a master, which is a Lord, and we have a servant. Let's scroll on down. What else it say?
Owner.
The husband is the what?
Owner.
He's the owner. What else?
Husband. Lord. Owner.
Right.
Husband. Citizens. Inhabitants. Ruler. Relationship used. Master of dreams. That's it on that part.
So now let's scroll down. Strong definition. Go ahead.
A master.
A what?
A master.
So if a master is the Lord, who we just read was the husband, then obviously he's the one that's in control. For example, bro, 1 Peter 3 and 6. 1 Peter 3 and 6. This is easy work. 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 6. What does it say?
1 Peter 3 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
But ye have despised the poor.
No. 1 Peter 3.
Oh, my bad.
It's all good. 1 Peter 3 and 6.
1 Peter 3 and 6.
Go ahead.
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham.
Right.
Calling him Lord.
She called him what?
Calling him Lord.
Click on what that word Lord is right there. Boom. What that say, brother? For the word for Lord.
Supreme in authority.
So the first thing it says supreme in authority. What else?
That is controller.
That's what?
Controller.
Let's show them that real quick. Right there. That is controller. Right there.
Hey, I'm gonna hurt your feelings, brother, because you said, your wife is a servant or not your help me. My wife loves me enough to be whatever it is that I need her to be, because she knows that I'm not gonna mistreat her. I'm not gonna be abusive. You can throw the word controller in there, she's not gonna get mad. You can throw the word possession in there, she's not gonna get mad. She's mine, she ain't gonna get mad. You know why? Because I've never changed towards her. It's just a title.
And this is one of the prime examples on why it is easy to deal with a person that is coming into the truth versus a person that think they know everything. Let's go to
Do your wives get mad at the word possession or
no,
controller?
they do not. They openly say that. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 5.
Matter of fact, my wife throws that around. I am your possession. You own me, King.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22.
Come on. Ephesians 5 and 22.
Let's get it.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22.
Go ahead.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands.
So it says, submit yourselves unto your own husband. Now I can make a comparison. How to submit? Go ahead.
As unto the Lord.
As unto the Lord. So the same way you will submit to your husband, it's the same exact way you will submit to the Lord. Or are you not the servant of the Lord?
Hey, brother, I'm going to tell you one time, no more.
Yeah.
You say any more, I'm just going to block you and keep it moving, because now we've answered your question. Again, he has 3. I have 1. My brother Judah Mack, he has 2. All the brothers we hang around either have 1, 2, or 3. And all their wives are okay. No one's doing anything crazy. So if you want to play wordplay, that's on you, kinfolk.
Hey, bro, look, don't even worry about it. I got him in my radar already. He don't even know I'm finna smoke him in a second. Go ahead. Let's go to Deuteronomy 10 and 12. We're going to get an example on what does it mean when it says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as unto the Lord. We're going to get an example of what that actually means. And then I'm coming for your top because I got a question.
Deuteronomy 10,
chapter 10 and 12. Go ahead.
And 12.
Go ahead.
And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God.
So the first thing it said, but to fear the Lord your God. What else?
To walk in all his ways.
So remember it said, Wives, submit to your own husband as unto the Lord. The first thing he said, to fear the Lord your God. Go ahead.
To walk in all his ways.
So the woman is supposed to be walking all the ways of her husband. Go ahead.
And to love him.
And to love him.
And to serve.
And to what?
To serve.
So you see that? The same exact way. We are servants. And to serve, go ahead.
The Lord thy God.
With what?
With all thy heart.
Right.
And with all thy soul.
Right.
To keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good.
So go back and read Ephesians 5:22 again real quick.
Yeah. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 22.
Come on.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord.
So we just read an example what it means to submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. Brother, the one who commented and talked that crap about what we call the New Testament. My question to you is, let's go to Genesis chapter 1 right quick, verse 26. I want to ask you a question. Let's say if we are to drop the New Testament, if you will. Got a question. Because you're finna get destroyed. It's easy words. It's not hard. Read verse 26 right quick.
Genesis 1 and 26.
Mm-hmm.
And God said, let us make...
Let who?
Let us.
Let us.
Make man
in
our image.
There's a us in the hour, right? Let us make man in our image, right? Drop that. Grab Genesis 3 verse 20 to 22 right quick. Because I got a question. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 3 verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam called his wife's name Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was the mother of all living.
Mm-hmm.
Unto Adam also and to his wife did the Lord God make coats of skin and clothe them.
Go ahead.
And the Lord God said, behold,
the man, meaning Adam,
is become as one of us.
One of who?
One of us.
Brother, my question to you is, who's this us that is with God in the beginning? Answer that.
You remember who asked the question? You can,
Yeah. Here he is right here. Yeah. Hayakia Israel. Who's the us in the hour that's right there? Answer according to what we call the Old Testament only. Because I got questions.
And that's what I'm saying. And no disrespect, but if you take it as that,
no, that's disrespect.
Yeah.
If you don't believe in the New Testament, hey, fuck you.
Right? No,
I was
talking about something totally different.
Straight
I was
up.
talking about something different, but yeah, okay. Sure.
Man.
No, I was talking about the wordplay that you doing in this subject matter about controller and servant and so on and so forth tells me that you're afraid of your wife, because if you can't use certain terms in fear of how she might say and think or whatever the case may be, then shame on you, bro.
Yeah. Man, we're going to get a few more. We're going to be done with you. Grab Isaiah 49 right quick.
Yeah, shame on
Isaiah
you,
49 and verse 7. Let's grab it.
Isaiah 49 and what?
In verse 7. What it say?
Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 7.
Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord.
Thus saith the Lord. Come on.
The Redeemer of Israel.
So thus saith the Lord, the Redeemer of Israel.
And his Holy One.
And his Holy One. Who's that? Thus saith the Lord, the Redeemer of Israel and his Holy One. Come on.
To him whom man despiseth. To him whom the nation abhorreth.
Right.
To a servant of rulers.
Come on.
Kings shall see and arise. Princes also shall worship.
Who's that talking about? If we are to get rid of what we call the Old Testament. Let's go to Micah chapter 5 right quick, verse 2. Micah chapter 5 verse 2. And I could do this all day, but I won't. I don't spend too much time with who we call non-messianics. Go ahead.
Micah chapter 5 verse 2.
Come on.
But thou Bethlehem, Ephrath, though thou be little among the thousands of Judah,
Right.
yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me that is to be ruler in Israel.
So who is this person that should be ruler in Israel that was born in Bethlehem? Who is that talking about? It wasn't Solomon. It ain't David. Continue.
Whose goings forth have been from.
So his going forth, meaning his origins, has what?
Whose goings forth have been from of old, from everlasting.
Who's that talking about? Who's going forth from old and from everlasting? That's coming out of Bethlehem. That was born in Bethlehem. Who that talking about? Let me know. Using what we call the Old Testament only. You got no answer. Let's go to Psalms 44. Isaiah 44 and verse 6. Let's grab it.
Isaiah 44 and what?
Verse 6.
Isaiah chapter 44 and verse 6.
That's right, verse 4. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord.
Thus saith the Lord.
The King of Israel.
So this Lord is known as the King of Israel. Go ahead.
And his Redeemer.
And his Redeemer.
The Lord of hosts.
Now, what Lord is that? Because those are two different Lords right there. We got one Lord as the King of Israel. Then we got another Lord as the Lord of hosts. Who's that? Using what we call the Old Testament only. Drop that. Go to Isaiah 45. Isaiah 45 verse 11. What does it say?
Isaiah 45 and 11.
Come on.
Thus saith the Lord.
Thus saith the Lord.
The Holy One of Israel.
The Holy One of Israel. Watch this. Who is that? They'll be like, oh, that's the Most High.
And
that's the Most High. The Holy One. The Lord said the Lord. The Holy One. That's the Most High. Okay. Well, what the next part say?
And his Maker.
And his what?
And his Maker.
So then my question is, well, who's God's creator then? It says there's a maker right there. Let's read it again. Read that again.
Thus saith the Lord,
right?
The Holy One of Israel.
You ask them, who's that? Thus saith the Lord, the Holy One of Israel. It says what?
And his Maker.
And his what?
And his
and
Maker.
his Maker. Go ahead.
Ask me of things to come concerning my sons, and concerning the work of my hands command ye me.
Is the Most High taking commands from another man? No. Isaiah 48:16 real quick.
Isaiah 48:16.
Come on with it.
Come ye near unto me, hear this.
Right.
I have not spoken in secret from the beginning.
You hear what he's saying? I have not spoken in secret from what?
From the beginning.
From the beginning. Come on.
From the time that it was there.
From the time that it was.
There am I.
I was there. From in the beginning. Say I was there. Go ahead.
And now the Lord God and his Spirit.
So the Lord God, you got the Father and his Spirit
has sent me.
Has sent me. Who's that? Isaiah wasn't there in the beginning. So who that talking about? Somebody was there in the beginning. Somebody was there in the beginning. Let's grab one more in the Apocrypha. For those people like the Apocrypha. Sirach. Yeah, you already got it. Ecclesiastic is also known as Sirach, chapter 51. Let's grab verse 10. For those who even believe in the Apocrypha as well. Man, we do this all day.
All day.
All day.
All day.
Go ahead.
Hey, when we shut this off, guess what we gonna do? Talk about the same thing. All day.
All day.
Sirach 51 and 10.
Come on with it.
I called upon the Lord.
You hear that? He said, I called. Matter of fact, jump to 9 real quick.
Verse 9.
Yeah, let's get that because it's talking about them praying and supplication. Come on.
Verse 9. Then lifted I up my supplication from the earth.
So I lifted up my supplication and my petition from the earth. Come on.
And prayed for deliverance from death.
And prayed from deliverance to death. What happened? Come on.
I called upon the Lord.
He said, I called upon the Lord, which is the master.
The Father.
The who?
The Father
of who?
Of my Lord.
That's two different Lords. I called upon the Lord, but it said the Father of my Lord. Those two different Lords. Don't that sound like Psalms 110? The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make my enemies thy footstool. Come on.
The Father of my Lord, that he would not leave me in the days of my trouble, and in time of the proud when there was no help.
Those two different Lords. Who that talking about? Okay, I said I was going to be done one more. Let's go to 2nd Ezra right quick, chapter 2. Man, I always let the Spirit lead me, y'all. So, hey, 2nd Ezra chapter 2. Let's grab that right quick.
What was it, 40 coming?
Yep. Come on with it.
2nd Ezra chapter 2. You want me to get to the point?
Yep.
Verse 47.
Start 46.
46. Then said I unto the angel,
right?
What young person is it that crowneth them, and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me,
What'd he say?
It is the Son of God.
It is who?
The Son of God.
The Son of who?
The Son of God.
It's the Son of God.
Whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord.
That's what we doing, man. We standing so stiffly for the name, meaning the authority of the Most High. That's what we gonna do. Now back to this topic, though, before we dealing with this clown.
Right. Let me say something real quick.
Brothers, real quick, you just witnessed that, what just happened between me and this brother. And it's, nothing against him, but imagine you dealing with a sister that has been watching him on YouTube for months and months and months. And then you come across her and you don't agree with what she learned from this particular brother who we were just talking with. That means now you got to argue with her. Isn't it so much easier just getting a sister who never even crossed his path, who knew nothing about him, and then teaching her instead of going back to reteach her? Think about that. Now, we know, of course, there's always going to be a reteaching, but I mean undoing all of that false doctrine that she's learned. Think about it. Let's continue. But that was something I wanted you to just really sit back and pay attention. And again, you got my brother Moss giving his perspective, how he sees it, even from the brothers whom he has counseled. And then you have me giving my perspective, how I see it, and the people also who I have counseled. So sisters, you're learning secrets about what men talk about and how we be feeling behind closed doors. Not all, but most. Take heed, sisters.
And I mean this in all truthful, man. I just want y'all brothers to understand why I am the way that I am in certain aspects of brothers. I'm 40. When I talked to Judah Moshe, when I first learned Judah Moshe, when we first spoke, when we first seen each other in person, I can tell by talking to him that there's no hidden agenda. There's no intent. He wasn't trying to walk me down on nothing. The brother was genuine. And if me and him didn't agree on something, we openly as men talked about it. And he would tell me, this is how I see things. This is how I view things. He didn't throw something out there at me to try to trip me up, to try to embarrass somebody as a man. You don't do that shit. Now, I say that because you brothers come on here. I'm cool with all questions as men conversing and going back and forth. I love it, man. I would talk to brothers for hours. Anybody will tell you that.
Me too.
But the moment I find when you sit there and you be like, let me throw some stuff out there, man, to see if I can trip this nigga up on my doctrine and my agenda and my this, that, and the third. I view that as deception. You mean to tell me you can't talk to me as a man and we can't open up the Bible and see why you see it the way you see it and see why I see it the way I see it, and then we converse, and whether we agree or not, we still cool at the end of the day? You mean to tell me you can't do that as a man now?
This is real interesting what Brother Mosh is saying, because for many of you all who know him and even Judah, they came out from a certain camp. I don't say their name because it's nothing personal, but they were a part of a group or a camp, if you will, who had a doctrine or teachings that was completely different from what I believe, so I don't always agree with them and some of the things that they say and what they believe, and vice versa. They don't always agree with things that I say and what I teach and what I believe, but we still cool, but we still good brothers at the end of the day. We still confess the Messiah and we still move in brotherly love. We don't sit up arguing all day. They don't, solve nothing, but we do discuss things that we simply disagree with. And it's always a pleasant conversation, because brothers is not going to always agree. You know what I'm saying? We get and understand that, what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if I have a wife, then she's going to be what I'm on. You get what I'm saying? She's going to be a wife after my mind. That's what the scripture says. You get what I'm saying? I'm sure they would want the same exact thing for their wife. So the things that I disagree with them on, I'm sure they're going to want their wives. Look, you on what I'm on. I don't care what Judah the Shooter said. This is what it is. So you get to hear it, like I was saying, from different perspectives. So as you see me and my brother, yes, we have disagreements. But guess what? We still brothers. That's my brother. Shout out to my brother, Master Judah. What up with it, bro? You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. So hopefully, sisters, y'all paying attention and y'all learning, because you get to hear it from brothers from different perspectives. But overall, we're saying the same thing. Saying the same thing.
That's one of the reasons why we're saying what we're saying.
it is easier to get a sister out of the world and to cleanse her from her filth than to be dealing with somebody like who we just got done arguing with. But get this though, sisters will be having that same doctrinal belief. They'll have that same belief. And now what he got to do? He got to cleanse her from that. You're better off dealing with the one who has the potential and listening. So, and then earlier I want to clarify something too. We wasn't saying marry harlots. We wasn't saying that. You know what I'm saying? Because I forgot somebody had posted a comment on something about
harlots or something.
Yes, we wasn't saying that. We were using it as an example of what the Most High did with us, who were harlots. When we were counted as spit, the Lord did what? He washed and cleansed us of our filth.
Right. So all the brother's saying is the sisters in the world can be cleansed just like you sisters who came in this and you call yourselves being in the truth.
And just like we as brothers was cleansed from our filth when we came into the truth. Let us not forget we were harlots.
Right. And the thing about it is, if we being honest, it's easier to deal with these sisters that are coming out out of the world than to deal with you sisters. And he mentioned it earlier before we went on the class about the when the sisters gain the knowledge, and I'm paraphrasing it, it's hard to deal with them after that because you got so many layers that you got to peel back and so many doctrines. And he even gave the example of, my bishop said this, and he said Mosh said this, and then what about Mosh? And I hear what you're saying, and Mosh, and then he said all of a sudden I'm enemies with him now because she's telling me what Mosh said instead of what her husband says.
Absolutely.
You've created an enemy because of that now.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So sisters understand that, and look, we tell you this in love. You know what I'm saying? If you into the truth, understand that men, we may sit back and we may watch you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, let me see how she moving. If we see you arguing, going back and forth, always want to be seen, we know that, okay, a woman like that more than likely is going to be a problem. She's going to be a headache. You see what I'm saying? If you taking counsel from anybody besides him, then he's going to look at that, okay, well, she don't have the potential to listen. Why? Because it's like, well, what happens if we have some issues? Is she going to go and listen to what Johnny said? You know what I'm saying? Get this, Johnny may be right, but we looking at, well, go marry Johnny then. Obviously that's the one that you seeking counsel from. Great. Go marry Johnny. You get what I'm saying? And just go live happily ever after. Just go marry him. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing about it, you got to remember, sisters, when you coming into this truth, hey, look, there's other layers you got to peel through. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to the sisters that desiring to be a wife. The other layers and other hurdles that you gotta have to jump, because we'll sit there and we'll see that, and now he has to literally wash you clean. It doesn't mean that the man may not have patience for it. You know what I'm saying? Like he tell you, I got more patience than him. There are things I can tolerate that he'll be like, you know what? No, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And it may be vice versa. But the whole thing about it is, again, if you want to increase the chances, learn how to be submissive. Learn how to get the women together. You know what I'm saying? Stop worrying about if he want to take a second wife, or if he want to take 22 wives. That's his prerogative if he wants to do that. You know what I'm saying? So you too busy worrying about the wrong things. So it's easy to get a sister who is coming into this, and she may know a little knowledge of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, it's easy to deal with her than to deal with the one who has been into this truth.
And you know why? Because the one in the world, you know that she really wants to be with you. She wants to be with you. Because it ain't anything else. She's pleased to dwell. That's the first thing we read in Corinthians. So you know that right off the bat. Oh, dang, I can cleanse her and I can deal with her because she really wants to be with me. I don't get that, or no other brother gets that when you dealing with a sister and you arguing over doctrine. Because damn well, you telling me there's stipulations that if I don't believe or see the way that you see it, oh, my love comes at fucking a contract.
Yeah.
Really? So it's a contractual agreement based on if me and you agree and see eye to eye, and based on if you think you know more than I do according to scripture. That's what I'm battling? Nah, I don't recommend that for no brother.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of my wives is watching right now. Her father, you know what I'm saying, before he passed, may the Most High have mercy on his soul, he was into Morsi's temple and Islam. Even though she didn't necessarily grow up in that, that's one of the doctrines that she was surrounded with. You know what I'm saying? So it was easier to deal with her because it's like, okay, well, you haven't been indoctrinated through false camps and false doctrine. Once I destroy that false Islam stuff, then it's going to be easy to deal with you. But she was receptive to it. You know what I'm saying? So, but dealing with, I'm saying that to say, it was easier for me to deal with a woman like her, who's a strong woman in this truth now. It's easy to deal with a woman like her than to go and dealing with such and such who named herself Deborah. You know what I'm saying? You ever think about it? Most rebellious sisters, they go name themselves Deborah or Judah. We were talking about.
Yeah, we talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Hey, Moshe was like, he named her stats. He's like 5'1", such and such, and then as soon as he said Deborah, he was like, fuck that, that's off the table. He said any sister to name herself Deborah, he's like, I ain't messing with her. He said that tell you where her mind is.
Tell you what her mind is. You know, she get the my prophetess. She's self-proclaimed prophetess. And she don't even know a prophetess comes from the Hebrew word Nabiyah, which just means an inspired woman. That's all it means. You know what I'm saying? So these women will come in. Go ahead.
And when you look at that, let's say Deborah, she was married. She had a head. And do you think that she was going to disobey her head? He had to give her permission to do what she did. She had to have a reputation. Deborah grew up in the law. Mm-hmm. She had a name for herself. She got married. She was obedient, and it got to the point where she was trustworthy to go carry out the Lord's work. None of y'all got to say that, because if you're going to call yourself Deborah, let's backtrack. Where's your family at? Where's your, who'd you grow up into your house? Can you name me your father? Can you name your uncles? Then after that, your husband. Who's your husband? Does he have a good name in Israel? Is he your first and only husband? How many kids do you got? See, you automatically disqualify, sis. But your name is Deborah. You don't work like that.
At all. You know what I'm saying? So, Judges 4:4, let's grab that right quick. Book of Judges chapter 4, verse 4. Let's get it.
To Judges 4:4?
Yeah. What he was just talking about, these self-proclaimed prophetess. Go ahead.
Judges chapter 4 and verse 4.
Come on.
And Deborah, a prophetess.
A what?
A prophetess.
Come on.
The wife of...
The who?
The wife.
So Deborah was a what?
The wife.
She was a baby mama?
The wife.
She was a wife.
Of Lapidoth.
See that? She was a married woman.
Mm-hmm.
See that?
She followed her husband. Despite what y'all think, she listened to her husband.
Yeah. So with that being said, look at this. The word for prophetess in that verse, as I told you, the word Nabiyah. I'm gonna have my brother read that real quick. What that say, Hebrew? For Nabiyah.
Right here.
You know how those who read Hebrew, the word Naveen, which is prophet, the word Navi is a prophet. Nabiyah is a prophetess. Go ahead.
It says feminine of H5030. A prophetess or generally inspired woman.
Didn't I just say that? It's an inspired woman. Go ahead.
By implication, a poetess. By association, a prophet's wife.
A prophet's what?
Wife.
A prophet's wife.
You ain't no single mothers around here talking about they got visions and dreams and call me and talking about it came from the Lord.
Yeah.
Sister, where your husband at? Oh, I don't have one. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
You ain't Deborah then.
So the whole thing about it is, this is showing like sisters who's been you've gone through so many doctrines. All right, that takes an effect on you. You've gone through so many doctrines, so now it's like, dang, now he got to spend all this time trying to wipe you clean and to cleanse you from your filth. Versus a woman who hasn't been watered down with all of these doctrines, and now he takes her on. You know what I'm saying? And he gets to mold her into the wife that he needs her to be, like the Lord did with us. Like the Lord did with us. You want to say something? Yeah.
Listening to you.
So, I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
So, again, it's easier to do that. You know what I'm saying? What is that? I have a barbershop. Go ahead.
I'll read it for you. I have a barbershop, and I'll tell you, it's easier to deal with a barber that is just coming out of school than it is to deal with a seasoned barber that already has clientele if I'm hiring.
Wow.
Yeah, the seasoned barber needs no training, but you also can't tell him shit. The new barber wants to soak up everything, and if they love the environment you provide, they want to stay.
Wow.
That's a good analogy.
The same analogy, sisters. It's easy because you got to remember, if he's a seasoned barber, he's already been accustomed to doing things his way, his fashion, the way he sees fit. And yeah, he may listen a little bit, but yeah, he gonna want to cut some corners. Versus the one like, dang, you know what? That's deep. We the Israelites gotta keep commandments. I ain't never heard this. Why, I ain't never met nobody like you. You know what? I'm going to serve you. I'm going to do what you tell me to do. Wow, you are truly sent by God. Versus, oh yeah, you know, so I've been knowing about that scripture. Yeah, my mama told me that growing up and blah, blah. We don't want to hear none of that. Shut your mouth. Mm-hmm. We don't want to hear none of that. We're not interested in what you already heard.
Right. I'm trying to scripture battle and shit. I'm trying to find out what you do know, and I'm supposed to care about what you do know. When the scripture says your mind is supposed to be after mine. Let me get that real quick.
Please do. Ecclesiastes 7.
Mm-hmm. You already know.
Yeah.
Sirach 7.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I got you. Sirach chapter 7 and verse, where you want to start at?
22.
22?
Mm-hmm.
Sirach chapter 7 and verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Hast thou cattle?
Mm-hmm. That's the question. Do you have cattle?
Have an eye to them,
mm-hmm.
and if they be for thy profit,
mm-hmm.
keep them with thee.
Don't you keep them with you? Go ahead.
Hey, pay attention to that. If you have cattle, if that cattle profits you, keep it with you.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Verse 23. Has thou children?
Right, that's the question. You got children?
Instruct them,
mm-hmm.
and bow down their neck from their youth.
You see that? Go ahead.
Has thou daughters?
Do you have daughters?
Have a care of their body.
But you have a care for their body and their well-being.
And show not thyself cheerful toward them.
Oh, that's my baby girl. Go ahead.
I know she want to go to the movies and hang out, but you know. Verse, what is it, 25?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 25. Marry thy daughter.
Right.
And so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter.
There's a but though.
But give her
do what?
But give her
to
a man of understanding.
Give her to a man of understanding is what he's telling us to do. Go ahead.
Verse 26. Hast thou a wife after thy mind?
You see that? A wife after your mind, meaning she thinks what you think. She moves how you move.
That's why I always tell y'all, sisters, man, brothers do not care what you know in here. They want to know if you do what they say.
Yeah.
That's all we care about. Will you do what I tell you?
Yeah.
Hast thou a wife after thy mind?
Do you got that wife that's after your mind? What God tell us to do, brothers?
Forsake her not.
Don't forget about her. Don't neglect her. That woman is a wife after your mind. She is literally your reflection. She's your shadow.
Yep.
She's you.
But give not thyself over to a light woman.
Let's talk about that. What it say?
But give not thyself over to a light woman.
So check this out. For those who have never heard that before, let's deal with this. Let's give them a parable really quick. What the Bible say?
But give not thyself over to a light woman.
So these are going to represent as a woman. We got this paper towel, and we got this stainless steel cup. It said, give not yourself over to a light woman. So, which wife would you rather have, brothers? Would you rather have when things get tough and the wind get to blowing? That one just withers away. But this one right here, it ain't going nowhere. This represents the light woman. Don't give yourselves over to a light woman. She's going to go with every wind of doctrine. She's going to go with anything that sounds good. She's going to be over here. She's going to be over there. She's going to be over there. She's going to be back there. That's a light woman. But this woman here, with the foundation, she going to stay. She's going to stick put.
Right.
Shout out to my sister Aniyah. That's her right here. The canister. That's right, sister.
You funny.
She represents the canister. She's married to my brother, Yaki.
Yeah, that's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? She is the canister. You know what I'm saying? That's her. You know what I'm saying? I personally know. You know what I'm saying? I've watched that sister, a sister who was in the world and now is a true servant of the Most High, and she's now being a pillar of rest to her husband. You know what I'm saying? So you know I know. So now I commend you for the growth, you know what I'm saying, from where you've come from. You know what I'm saying? So she is a prime example of what we're talking about. A woman who has come out of the world is now being a daughter of Zion. You know what I'm saying? Her and her sister wife. I went to school with her sister wife. You know what I'm saying? So my sister is an example of who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
What we talking about? So that sister is an example on what we are talking about. So it's easy to get a sister like that and to cleanse her of all of her filth from the world than to be dealing with a sister. Oh, well, you know, I got the deepest breakdown of this and all of that. We're not going to be arguing with you.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have time for that. We don't have time for it. For example, grab 1 Corinthians 7 and 29 right quick. Nobody got time for that. Check this out. All praise to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? That's a prime example.
Right, and real quick before we move on in Sirach 7, when you read that in its entirety, that's going into having things around you that's beneficial as a man. It tells you if you have cattle, it has to benefit you. If you have children, they have to benefit you. If you have a wife, she has to benefit you. Everybody else will tell you, well, you got to keep it. So, okay, let's do your life in general. So, you mean to tell me if I got a bad vehicle and it's terrible and I can't get around, that I got to keep it? That ain't what God is telling me. You mean to tell me if I got bad things in my life, situations going on, that I got to deal with it? Or do I fix it? Everything in my life has to benefit me according to God. Because you know why? I can't serve him right if things is messed up around me as a man. If my wife is not right, I can't serve the Lord right, because guess what? Now this woman becomes my idol, because I got to look back and I got to pacify her and serve her and make sure she's good. Meanwhile, I can't even meditate and serve the Lord. I can't do God's work. Do you understand that? No different than anything in your life, it has to benefit you. It has to. If I got a car that doesn't work and I can't get to a job to pay my bills, it is of no benefit to me. It is of no value.
Just like us, we have to benefit the Lord. Just like Sirach 16, have no pleasure in unprofitable children. You see what I'm saying? Have no pleasure in that. Now, grab 1 Corinthians 7 and 29.
1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 29.
What it say?
But this I say, brethren, the time is short.
The time is short. We ain't got a lot of time.
It remaineth that both they that have wives,
though they have wives, be as what?
Be as though they have none.
Be as though they had none. So we ain't got time to be doing this, man. We got to be putting in work. We're not going to sit and worry about your damn headache. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen sisters that will obtain a certain knowledge of the truth. And look, this is no shot, but this is things that I've seen. Sisters that are coming to the truth, and what they'll go and do is they'll go get their husband, and they'll make me and my brother call them build a brews. Mm-hmm. They'll build the brew out his ass or whatnot, and then they'll teach him, and then before you know it, he ain't gonna be learning from nobody but her. You know what I'm saying? So at that point now, he becomes her helpmeet, and the shoe becomes on the other foot. You know what I'm saying? So I got me a good one. He blah blah blah. Yeah, because you basically manipulated the brother, and now what you did was you literally made him your helpmeet instead of the other way around.
Absolutely.
Now get this. If your woman has brought you to the truth, there's a big chance that she's kept things from you and has kept you away from strong brothers in the truth. You know, a woman who has a dominant spirit, first and foremost, and that has a certain knowledge of the truth, it gives her more of that dominant authority figure, if that makes sense. So she's already dominant. Now she has reached a certain level in this walk in the truth. And what she does is she punk on men who are not as strong in the truth, right? In a sense of conquering him in a passive aggressive manner. All right. So she may be older than the guy, and she may be older than him spiritually because she's been in this walk longer than the guy. So the guy, what he does is he come in and he'll, in a sense, fall in line under her authority. It's kind of like one of them unwritten rules, if that makes sense. Because think about it, man is the head. So if she is the one who has the authority, he learns from her. She's been bringing him into this walk. And he's not around other strong brothers who will be like, yo, hey, you know, it's supposed to be the other way around, bro. What are you doing? Why are you sitting at her kneecaps learning from her? It should be the other way around. Then, of course, she can, in a sense, get him to be like, yo, hey, well, you know, we're going to do this. You're going to do this. Brothers, watch that. You know, watch that. It should be the other way around. Bring her into this walk and you lead her physically and spiritually. You get what I'm saying? So you got to watch that. You got to definitely watch that, you know, because in a sense, you will be her help me, if that makes sense. So it's better off if it's the other way around because the man is the head. He's the one at the top. So brothers, you got to watch that. Because a lot of these sisters who are married, who be out of order online, is the dominant person spiritually. That brother might not be as strong in the truth as he is. He may be a strong brother, but not really in his walk like that. You know, he don't really know scripture like that. And he do, but he don't. You know, he's not really like it's not putting another brother down, but it's not really like a leader in our community, if that makes sense. You know, he may be your average everyday brother, but he's not like a leader. You know, people come to him for counsel, learning things like that, you know. Hey, brother, what's X, Y, and Z? He's not that brother. You see what I'm saying? The woman's not going to go who has that certain amount of knowledge. She's not going to go and deal with that type of brother. Why? Because he's not going to put up with some of the stuff that you would. You get what I'm saying? But that's another topic, though. You'll become her servant. And you will find yourself, in a sense, in subjection to her feelings and her emotion and how she feels and what she taught you.
Absolutely, because how can you say, yeah, I have a good one, but meanwhile you being smart alecky with the men online, and then you address it up with, well, my husband is my king and he knows what I'm doing. Yeah, you have a weak man. And
I was finna say that.
You have a weak man.
You got the brothers looking, you got your husband looking weak. If we see you arguing with and going back and forth with other men, our first thing is, okay, he's definitely weak. He definitely runs the house. Like, what the hell are you doing that you online doing all of that? You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna never see none of my wives doing that. Like you had asked me earlier, starting with my first wife. Me and her, we came into the truth together. But she already had qualities within her that played a key role. She knew how to be quiet already. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing about, like I'm just saying right here, no women should be arguing or debating with no man. Period. When she has a head.
Thank you, sis. Hey, and let me and I'm gonna say this. I don't give a fuck if it's her Facebook page or not. Because women sit there and be like, well, he was on my page. Okay, block him. There's 3 buttons in the top right where you can block somebody if they say or do something that you disagree with. But if you start going back and forth with a man, you are in error, sis. Man, you're in error.
You'll never see none of my wives doing that. Never have, and you never will see that.
I don't care whose page you on.
Yeah, when I see women arguing with men, the first thing I'm thinking, there's no way she has a man. No way that she does. No way. There's no way. You know what I'm saying? So when you thinking about this, sisters, again, and then look, this is for encouragement, sisters, because I know that some of y'all are striving to serve the Most High. You know what I'm saying? You are striving to, you know what I'm saying, be that best woman that, you know what I'm saying, that you are called to be. But notice and listen to what men are saying, like, you know what? Hey, do we really want to deal with this? You know, it's like, it'll be like, for example, I meet Susie today because there's a big chance that I will have a 4th wife. And if she's already into the truth, one of the first things I'm going to want to know is, who you been watching? Thank you.
I already know who you been
watching.
What
camp were you with? Because now that's going to determine how I have to deal with you. If I know you've been under such and such, Oh gosh.
Hey, I done talk to sisters, and I'll be like, "Who you watching?" They say, "Yeah, I watch you and Judah, and then after that, I watch such and such, and then such and such, and then such and such." And I'm like, "Oh, you watch all these brothers, and you listen to all this. No wonder your name is such and such Yasharala, and you're doing this, that, and the third. Like you done combined everything into one like a fucking Voltron and shit." And that's why I'm like, damn, somebody got to deal with that.
So just to paint a picture on what you just heard, this will be like me coming across a Muslim or a Jehovah's Witness woman. I don't do holidays. It's pagan. A Muslim woman don't do holidays. That's pagan to her as well. A woman who's a Jehovah's Witness don't do that as well because she would know that it's pagan. So even though we have 3 different backgrounds, 3 different ideologies, it's easy for me to converse with them about, hey, babe, look, in our culture, we don't do holidays. Oh, cool. Well, you know, when I was in Islam, we didn't do holidays either. Great. So look at that. That's already something I don't have to deal with when Christmas time rolls around. But if I went and got a woman who was a Christian or a Baptist, she's going to want to go be with her family. She's going to want to celebrate Christmas and pass gifts and give me a gift. Me, I will be offended from that. So it would be easier for me to find someone who is not of my background, but has some similarities or willing to be open and will be accustomed to some of the things that I'm already doing versus me going and deal with a sister in the Israelite community. Yeah, she know no holidays, no pork and all of that. Great. Just like the Muslims know no pork, right? But at the same time, her cup is full. You can't teach her anything. When she, at that point, I'm uncoachable. I'm unteachable. I get all the deepest breakdowns. I don't listen to this elder over here, this elder over there, and this elder over here. So now we looking like, yo, well, I don't believe what Johnny over there taught. You know, that's actually wrong. Because look, this is what the scriptures say. No, see, because when I was watching this video, this said this. I get what you're saying, but no, hear me. No, wait, no, it don't mean that. No, because I don't believe that. And I'm not heard. Let's go watch this video. What? I'm not finna go and do that. Look, this is what the scriptures say. And that's what we're going to do in my house. No, see, that's off, King. I blah, 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 blah. Now y'all at odds. Y'all are at odds now. You get what I'm saying? So now it's like, yo, brothers, what do? Is that something you want to deal with? Because that's going to create chaos in your house. Her cup is full. It's like, yo, why didn't you just go and meet a brother over there? Why'd you come here? So if you got a brother who follows this group, well, there's a lot of brothers over there. Go deal with them, and y'all ain't got to worry about doctrine because y'all believe that. But as far as me and my house, we're going to do this here. We're going to do this here. So it's like, sisters, when we done seen and y'all been into the truth for 2 years, 3 years, like, yo, that means you done met a lot of brothers. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to talk about that in part 2, actually, you know, but we see that as, yo, she has high mileage. You know, she's been spiritually ran through spiritually, you know, and I'm going to go into more detail on this in part 2, most I will. But so think about this. You're getting things from the inside on how most brothers feel. One of the things I can almost guarantee that when you meet a brother in the truth, he gonna want to know if you're gonna listen, you're gonna obey or submit, of course. And how did you come into the truth? And who did you learn from? What camp was you associated with? Because that's gonna let him know, okay, how I need to deal with this. You know, is she gonna be worth dealing with?
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like my sister say, hey, beauty's in her silence. Absolutely.
Yep.
But yeah, but we see that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, dang, you know what? What camp you with? Or what camp were you associated with? because that's gonna let me know everything I need to know. You know what I'm saying? And I remember one time, like there was a sister who was asking to be one of my concubines, and I was going to consider it at first. And I'm like, nah, I don't really want no concubine. So that was why I was at with it. But one of the things that I noticed about her, she was disciplined. She was very disciplined. She was very precise, and you can tell that she had great potential to be submissive. But one thing that played a part in it was because she came out of Islam. And women in Islam are known to be disciplined. You know what I'm saying? So she had already had that discipline. So it's like, dang, you know what? For the most part, brothers, one of my recommendations is get you a woman that's probably has an Islamic background. Because, and I ain't saying a woman that's in Islam currently. I'm not saying that. But a woman who has an Islamic background, because she has an Islamic background, if you're a person who desires polygyny, such as myself, she's already open to it. Why? Because that's what she's been accustomed to already. Maybe her father was already in it. You know what I'm saying? Or it didn't have to be poly. It could just be mono. Because monogamy is beautiful just as well as polygyny. Both of them are beautiful.
As long as it's not forced on you.
When it's not forced on you. So, but generally speaking, women who come out of Islam are already trained and taught to be disciplinaries versus women who grew up in Christianity are told, oh, well, you know, I ain't his rib. I'm the neck that turns the head.
Yep. Yeah,
that's her.
That shit pisses me. I'm like, where the hell you read that at? That means you still in control.
Yeah. So Christianity have created masculine women and effeminate men, but Islam is the other way around. They've created women who are already ready to be dominated and submissive. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, if you can just get her to see Christ, you know what I'm saying, the Messiah or whatnot, and boom, if she accepts the Messiah, then boom, there you go. You see what I'm saying? So at that point, she will be easier to deal with. Why? Because you don't have to wash some of those, a lot of those principles out. You get what I'm saying? So yeah. There's a question. Can we have children with concubines? Yes. Let's grab Judges chapter 8 right quick. Judges 8. Let's grab that right quick.
8 and what?
Judges 8 and verse 30.
Judges chapter 8 and verse 30.
Mm-hmm.
And Gideon had 70 sons of his body begotten, for he had many wives.
He had what?
Many wives.
He had many what?
Many wives.
Many wives. Come on.
And his concubine.
And his what?
And his concubine.
And his concubine.
That was in Shechem. She also bare him a son.
So you see that? And his name was Abimelech. Matter of fact, I can tell you that.
And his name was Abimelech.
Now let's get one more. Let's go to Genesis 25 and verse 6 real quick. I still got a lesson on there on YouTube too.
Genesis 25 and 6.
Yeah, go ahead.
But unto the sons of the concubine.
Unto the sons of who?
Of the concubine.
This is talking about Abraham. To the sons of the concubine was what?
Abraham had.
Oh, my retarded self is already in the verse. My bad. What's Abraham had? Go ahead.
Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from Isaac his son while he yet lived eastward unto the east country.
So you see that he had concubines. Well, somebody just said right here, Lamatsai said real talk, might have to convert some Islam beloveds.
Hey,
absolutely. Hey, yo, hey. I wouldn't put it past you because, and I hate to say it, man, look, you women of Israel, I love y'all, man. I love y'all. But just like, you know, us as brothers, we got work to do. You sisters got work to do as well. But we giving it to you from the perspective of how men may view you. You know what I'm saying? We see you as like, yeah, we proud of you. You come out of the world. You know what I'm saying? But you come out of one form of filth and you going into another. And that don't mean that us as men that we ain't got things to work on, sister. I got a lot to work on. But guess what, sister? If you are one who is striving to finally be a wife, then guess what? How men are viewing you. That's why men may be like, dang, you know, we got to court you for so long. Look, I ain't got time for all that. You want to be married? You want to be a wife? You want to be my fourth wife? Great. No? All right. Well, then guess what, sister? I'm just ain't the guy for you. You know what I'm saying? So the sisters will be like, oh, well, you know, I want a righteous man. Then when you get it, then you got to start doing what the book say, listen, obeying, or you ain't sign up for all of that.
It would be like in the sense of them writing a check that they obviously can't cash. So, for example, let me share my screen really quick. It would be like, you know, they meet the sister. The brother may meet the sister, be like, yo, okay, you're looking for a righteous husband. Cool. All right. I keep the commandments, X, Y, and Z. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to lead you. in the eyes of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, cool, shalom, brother. Right? Then they hit it off. You know, then it come down to, well, you do know that the scripts say, therefore, as the church is subject, meaning in submission unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. That means everything. Everything. She mean, oh, well, you know, but what do you mean everything? Like, you hear those excuses coming out. Everything. Everything, literally. You know, that means you are to surrender in everything. And then you get, of course, most of them ain't sign up for that. You know, everything could be going good until you start talking about submission, obedience, obey, listen. I'm the one that's going to be ruling everything. I ain't really signing for that, boy. Their whole spirit start changing. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, the sisters who's been into the truth this long know this, but they don't want to do all of that. They don't want to do all of that. And then, you know, some of them, you know, still have past traumas and they have to do, they have to heal better. You get what I'm saying? They have to heal better. Speaking of healing better, there's a good book sisters can get. Heal Better. Look at that, the prayer journal. Order this book online, you know, because trauma is a thing that we also have to understand that we as a people is facing. But that's another topic for a different day. So, yes. So when it comes down to submission and obedience, I don't want to do all of that now. I mean, I do it, but I don't really want to do that. Brothers, pay attention to that. That should be a topic of discussion. You know, where the scripts say, do you obey me in anything? If she give any type of kickback, any type of pushback, any type of excuse, red flag, cut her off. Cut her off. She's not going to obey you. And some of y'all want to listen, I'm obey. Yeah, submitting is easy when it's easy. You know, it's doing them times where it's like, yo, you being tried right now. Are you going to submit or are you going to be out of the door? You get what I'm saying? Now, we know 9 times out of 10, the sisters who's been in the truth, ain't going to really do that. And if those who would, I would. But why you ain't found no man yet? Why no husband ain't married you yet? Those are also red flags. Brothers, watch it. Watch it. And believe it or not, sisters, this is how a lot of brothers feel in the community. You ain't been married yet. There's probably a reason why. So, sisters, take heed. You might not agree with everything that we're saying, but take heed. This is a learning moment. This ain't the moment to, well, you know, in X, Y, and Z. This ain't the moment to be pleading your case or your cause. This is just a moment to soak in information that you're hearing from brothers who have different perspectives. But, hey, just listen.
If you want to get you a concubine, great. Concubines, even better. You know what I'm saying? That's up to you. Or if you don't want that, if you want to be monogamous, great. Be monogamous.
Keep the commandments.
Keep the commandments. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you see fit, brothers, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? But know and understand that it's something to think about. You know what I'm saying? Would you rather deal with a woman that's already in the truth, that's defiled with so many false doctrines, that don't want to listen, that want to argue with you till the sun come up and tell you why she's fit? No. You know what I'm saying? Like, take me for example. I've been in the truth since 2012, and there are some things that I make it look past with certain women with different things that they may or may not believe. But there are some things that me personally I can't get past. Like I personally believe in what we call the virgin birth, not to be confused with the Immaculate Conception. I believe in the virgin birth. I do not believe that Mary and Joseph had sex. Why? Because the scriptures say so. I know your Wisdom of Solomon, 7th chapter, your Romans 1 and 3, seed of death. I know every scripture that they try to bring out, seed according to the flesh. I know I've seen all these so-called deep breakdowns, but when I go into the Hebrew New Testament, ain't no getting past that. I know about your Hebrews 2 and 16 and 17, and he took them to the seed of Abraham, and I know all of that. And I know how to deal with all of that. But guess what? Me personally dealing with a woman, I can't get past the fact is she believe in that. So one thing's for certain, two things for sure. If she believes that Joseph is a biological father, I ain't dealing with that. I'm not dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? So now I gotta wash her clean from this nonsense that she learned from these groups. You know what I'm saying? Oh, when Matthew 1:18, who knows the customs of marriage? I know everything you gonna say before you say it. I've heard it all. You know what I'm saying? So, me personally, I can't get past that. Another brother man saying, man, look, that ain't a salvation issue. I ain't worried about all that. Do she keep the commandments? Do she go submit? She gonna obey? Great. I can deal with that. I don't care if she believe that, because you know they say we believe in the Immaculate Conception. If she believe in the Immaculate Conception or not. If she gonna submit, then that's cool with me. So you got different strokes for different folks. But that's one thing I can't get past. It's like a spin in my brain. I gotta say, so I got a question. You know what I'm saying? Look, and that's gonna start some stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me personally.
Yes, brother, you can have a concubine and not have a wife. Also, yes, if you have a concubine, understand she belongs to you and only you. Ain't no bouncing around and so on and so forth. She's yours. And she belongs to you and she's under you. She can't go off and have multiple partners and go do her own thing and go partying and clubbing and all that shit. She's your concubine. It's the same thing, just a lesser wife. That's all it's saying.
Man, look, if y'all want to learn about that, go on my YouTube channel. I did a lesson on this already. You know what I'm saying? So on my YouTube channel, here, this is my YouTube channel, Judah the Shooter. Alright.
Judah Shooter in the building.
That's the channel right there. Right? Judah the Shooter. When you go there, youtube.com/Judah the Shooter. But in here, the lesson I did about a few months back, that's the lesson right there on concubines.
What's the name of it?
It says
So
concubines versus concubine versus concubines. What is it? And then parentheses polygyny. So this is it right there. All right, concubine versus concubine.
He's got a lot of good lessons on there, brother. So if y'all able to go in there and check them out, do so.
Yeah, and I'm even starting to do lessons in 100% Hebrew and not English. You know what I'm saying? So I got lessons in the Hebrew language. You know what I'm saying? So those who are looking to learn to read the Bible in Hebrew, pretty soon I'll be doing lessons to teaching the language.
All right, I got so I'm gonna ask some of these questions. So I put on a post today. I said, brothers, is it worth taking an?
Hold on, yes, absolutely. That concubine is bound to that man.
Yeah, she's bound to that man.
That clear, absolutely.
Yeah, she's bound to that man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pay attention to what Brother Mosh is about to say, because I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mosh, if you see this, but I think this is definitely one of the reasons how this got started. Because I don't fully remember everything. Remember, this goes back in 2020. This is about, we're talking November 2020, so I don't fully remember, but I do remember him asking me questions. But I think this post that he's about to share with you all, I think it was probably this that got the ball rolling during this whole conversation. And he began to ask me, it's like, yo, I wish we would have recorded that. And then boom, we end up pushing play. I remember I had been up 24 hours. I hadn't had no sleep this particular day. You know, we had been up talking about the scriptures and, you know, just all sorts of things that entire night. I at this point, I didn't even go to sleep because I actually stayed the night over at their house this particular night, and never went to sleep, you know. Yeah, but pay attention, sisters, what he's about to say, whether you agree with what the brother's saying or whether you don't agree. But you're about to hear what other brothers also are thinking and feeling as well.
It says, brothers, is it worth taking an Israelite sister? You'd have to argue over doctrines. They weren't studying to learn submission. They talk too much and overvalue themselves. So now I looked and see some of the response of brothers, and I'm gonna read them again to you sisters, so you know how men think and how they feel with you sisters who are single and in this walk. One brother said, heck nah, I'd rather find a sister that don't know she Hebrew and show her Christ. These sisters be more caught up in what men's supposed to be doing, but hate the function God created for them.
Wow. Look at that. That was powerful. Well, all right.
Here goes another one. This brother said, can't go wrong with the daughter of Zion if you show the same patience the Most High had with us. Got one I've been with for nearly 20 years of my life. Stop right there.
Oh yeah, cause I'm glad. Look,
No, go ahead. I already know where I'm going.
Go ahead and read that right quick again.
Read it
What's
again?
the first part?
Can't go wrong with the daughter of Zion if you show the same patience the Most High had with us.
Okay, so now with that being said, if she don't want to listen, if she's not a vessel that's open to receive you, then at that point you are beating a dead horse. If she is rebellious, for example, the same Lord we talking about. Grab 1 Samuel 15 right quick. 1 Samuel 15 and 23.
1 Samuel 15, 23.
Right here, my video call you after this if you want to actually discuss it.
Yeah. Hey, you got my information, Raheem.
Yeah, we'll
Stuff
video
like,
chat. Hey,
yeah,
it's gonna be quite interesting when we go over this. Stop it.
Hey, but real talk, man. Just write your questions down because you send us all over the place down a rabbit hole. Remember, the topic we talking about is the subject is sisters and this walk. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to deviate from that. So save your questions, man.
Yeah. No doubt, Hebrew. Yeah, we're definitely rap, Hebrew. As long as you sincere and truly really want to know, we can definitely go over it.
You said first
in
Samuel
Hebrew
15?
and in English, because we first gonna go into it in Hebrew.
1 Samuel 15 and what?
1 Samuel 15, 23.
1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 23.
Come on.
For rebellion.
For what?
For rebellion.
Right.
Is as the sin of witchcraft.
So that's what we dealing with. It's the sin of witchcraft. Go ahead.
And stubbornness.
Right.
Is as iniquity and idolatry.
So that right there, we have to deal with things like that already. You know what I'm saying? Now, if that woman is she showing signs of she'll listen, then yeah, obviously the man will be more patient. But if she's stubborn and if she wants to talk crap all the time, no, what man is going to sit there and listen to that? No, not at all. You want to say something?
Yeah, at the top it said, can't go wrong with the daughter of Zion if you show the same patience the Most High had with us. Got one I've been with for nearly 20 years of my life. A lot of sisters be like, see, it works, all praises. Two things to this. Number one, he's taken. So he don't count. So he's already out of the equation. Number two, you don't know if he'll take, if he's into poly, or you might not be into poly. So again, now you in a situation where this man is taken. Now it's going into, he's been with his wife for over 20 years, and then he goes into the things that they've been through. Meaning, you got to get yourself together. You just can't sit back in the background and be a cheerleader for somebody else's relationship that turned out to be a success. Mm-hmm. Now you got to start working on yours so yours can be a success. But again, a lot of the times, he's taken, so you ain't going to get him, and you ain't going to find a man that's going to have the same qualities, because me and this brother's different. Our likes are different. Our wants and needs are different. So he's taken, and then number two, again, you probably ain't going to take him anyway because you don't believe in poly.
Yeah, well, like one of the things, like you, that I don't care for, it's just not me, you know, when he wants to, hey, how much weight have you lost? You know what I'm saying? Your weight. But get this, though. This is coming from a brother who was very heavyset, that disciplined himself and lost the weight. Mm-hmm. So he's basically telling her to do something that he himself already went to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I don't mind a big woman. That look, I would take that big woman over the skinny woman that thinks she know every damn thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So
and I would too.
I don't mind a woman being a heavy set woman. That don't mean nothing to me. Mm-mm. You gonna submit? You gonna listen? You gonna obey? Great.
And the same thing for me. I do not mind a heavyset woman. I tried to take one, right. But I was gonna make the heavyset woman into something that I would enjoy. Right. But she still would have been heavyset. Mm-hmm. I don't give a damn about that. I'm more into submission, and that's what I like. That's what I'm into.
Straight up.
I ain't gonna read the rest of his. This brother said, Khan, from my experiences, I have had a couple of so-called sisters in the truth cut me off because I'm into monogamy. So there you go again. A lot of the issues that men are going to run into is, or a lot of you sisters, you want monogamous relationships, meaning you want to control the relationship. You can't do that. You got to work on being submissive, sis. Submission should be your number one goal in this walk, because you need a husband, or you need to follow a man. Period. Point blank. And a lot of y'all sisters just on an island by yourself. You need to be serving a man. And y'all not doing that. I plan on having the best wife for my household. That position is open to anyone who meets the qualifications, whether Israelite or not. No 10-point preference here.
You see that? Now that's coming from a brother who you can tell that he wants a woman that's coming with a set that fits his standards. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, sisters, let that be a wake up call that the brother is now saying, look, as long as she fit my qualifications in my house, I'll take her.
Yep.
Now, how does that make some of you sisters feel, knowing that, man, I done worked so hard and I done did all this and I still can't find a man in the truth? And there's so many brothers out here. But guess what? We want a woman that's going to be in order. A woman that's going to be submissive. Not only submissive when it's convenient for her. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, when you see when she's mad, when she's upset, when it ain't going her way, you'll see what you got. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Absolutely. Most of them are feminists with head wraps. Absolutely, brother.
It says
Zebulon, that was powerful, brother. That was powerful.
Oh, hey, we say that all the time,
Yeah.
Zebulon. They are. You know why? Because these women, and this, I don't understand why these Hebrew brothers don't get this. These women are coming out of the Christian church, or they have the Christianity mindset,
or they've been hurt from somebody, and then they want to be rebelling.
Because think about it, even if they weren't in the Christian church, they mama and their grandmama was, so the ideologies and the way they dealt with their husbands and the men around is the same thought process.
Yeah.
So yeah, when they come in here, it's still the feminist Christian woman in a head wrap.
And brothers, I want to say something too. Watch those cliques that the sisters is in. Just because she assisting head wraps, these sisters be creating these little groups, and meanwhile behind closed doors, all it takes is one of them who don't obey, or one of them who been hurt. They'll form an alliance, and then they'll get your wives onto some nonsense, and before you know it, you now got a pet dragon in your house, and you don't even know why. It's because she listening to Susie up the street, even though she is a sister in the truth. What is she doing? She's putting her ideology that she's learned from her doctrine. She's putting her bad habits onto other sisters. You see what I'm saying? So there are a few sisters in Israel that are really teaching how these sisters should be doing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sister Casita. You know what I'm saying? The wife of Jediah. You know what I'm saying? Sister Casita, man, got so many videos of getting sisters together. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you want me to read?
Yeah, hey, this is what y'all gotta understand. I love this Bible. It's cut and dry. When you dealing with these sisters, especially these single sisters, God gives us a blueprint of the ones, how they are if they marry, or how they're supposed to be when they marry, versus these sisters who are unmarried and the ones who are married and out of order. Read that. We're going to go 1 Timothy 5. We're going to read 11 through 15. So understand, like the brother's saying, be mindful of these sisters in these groups. And this is why you got to be mindful of the sisters that's in these groups. Go ahead.
Yeah, my wife's in none of them groups at all. So don't ask my wife, oh, can my wife blah, blah, blah. I've had people, man, hey, can my wife fellowship with your wife? Hell no, because I see how you run your house. No, absolutely not. She can check your wife. She can do that. But she ain't finna be fellowshipping with your wife. Why? Because your wife does this. Your wife don't do that. And I be damned if she's finna put that spirit on mine. I gotta protect my peace, and I gotta protect their peace, and I gotta protect them physically and spiritually. So no, my wives ain't finna fellowship with none of y'all wives. She'll check y'all wives when they out of order though. She'll do that. You want them to check your wife if she out of order? Great, contact me. We can make that happen. But if she finna be discussing doctrines and talking about when the new moon is, when the Sabbath is, and all of that, no, we ain't finna be doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? None of that. You know what I'm saying? So no.
And before you read that, and for brothers too, be mindful of these sisters. I hate being when a sister call me Ak and all that shit. Do not call
masculine.
Do not call me Ak and all that bullshit. Be mindful of the things and how they say to you certain things as well. Pay attention to that stuff.
Man, you might as well give them a fire like, what's up, dog? You know?
What's good, Ak?
Yeah.
Not your damn Ak. Don't call me that.
Straight up.
So again, be mindful, like Moshe was saying, about these sisters that be in these groups. Yeah. Especially these damn single sisters.
They'll create these groups. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 1 Timothy 5 verse 11 says, but the younger widows refuse. For when they have begun to wax wanton against Christ, they will marry.
Right, they will marry. So what is that talking about? waxing wanton against Christ.
Mm-hmm.
It's talking about these single sisters. Eventually, they gonna want a husband. They gonna burn. They gonna have sex.
Come
They
on.
gonna be thinking about all those things. And guess what? These sisters will tell you they thinking about Christ, but that ain't what it just said. Say they ain't thinking about the Messiah no more. They thinking about booty. They thinking about getting their rocks off. That's what they thinking about doing. But that they'll come on these sites and they'll create these pages and they'll shalom, all praises to the Father, and Jesus is my head. No, Jesus ain't their head. That ain't what you gonna read. Go ahead.
It says in verse 12, having damnation because they cast off their first faith.
See that? They cast off their first faith. And as we read on, it's going to explain even more why they casted off their first faith. Go ahead.
And withal, they learn to be idle.
Okay, so look at that. All these single sisters, they learn to be idle. So what do they do in their idleness? They create chat pages. They reach out to other sisters and they want to be in business, in people's business. Then this is the big thing I've been seeing lately. Every 5 minutes they'll post something on there and they want to know what everybody thinks.
Oh my God,
you see
bro!
that
Man, they got those conversations and they really don't want to come to a resolution. They just want to see people argue.
It's just a conversation starter because they idle. They ain't got shit to do. And it's like, damn, sis, every 5-10 minutes you fucking posting something. You idle. You ain't got nothing to do.
Man, look, that woman ain't got nothing coming with dealing with me. Nothing coming at all. Why? Because I see where her mindset's at. She's more focused on this and that and this and that, not focused on being a submissive wife. You got nothing coming, sisters, with that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're gonna bring in the wrong type of people. You're gonna bring the people that's gonna flirt with you. Man, look, you ain't getting no husband like that.
Right. Go ahead.
It says, wandering about from house to house.
You see that? Calling everybody. And like we said, setting up the chats and being in everybody else's business to the point, like he said, now your wife is a baby dragon and you don't even understand why. You know why? Because you got these sisters that have nothing going on for themselves. Then now they in your business. And to the point where they create no whole pages about you. Mm-hmm. They talk bad about you. You don't even know who these people are. You know why? Because they have no structure, no order, no guidance in their house. And here's the thing about it. You brothers fall for that. Mm-hmm. You brothers that are in the truth, you should never be listening to these single sisters. Never be listening to these single sisters who they're unaccounted for.
Single for a reason.
Yeah, they possessions on the loose. I know they hate hearing that, but that's what you are. Your property with no name on it. And you brothers will sit here and queen them. And you sisters will say, oh, you brothers are too rough. Guess what? You being played. Because there's no reason why this sister should be trying to take up for herself to begin with. That's what a man is for. 2 men are supposed to work that out. I'm not supposed to be having a conversation with no woman like that. That's off.
And look, real quick, when you said be queen, me and my bro, Mashal, last night I made this video for Mashal, and he shout out to Mashal Israel. He was basically talking about these clowns who be calling the women queen and whatnot, and how just to get ignored. So check it. Look, this is the video clip I made yesterday on my iMovie. So here we go. Hold on, let me press play. Hold on. He basically, let me turn it up real quick. Hold on. That's basically how y'all be looking.
Yep.
Just to get ignored.
How you doing, queen?
One more time. Real quick.
How you doing, queen?
And that's what y'all be doing. Y'all be queening these sisters and you don't even know them.
And they ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
Ignore it.
Read on.
Straight up, it said. And
so now I said you're idle and you going from house to house because you ain't got nothing to do. Go ahead.
It says, but tattlers.
But tattlers,
I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm. Also busybodies.
You see that? Tattlers, busybodies. You going off telling everybody's business. You gossiping in everybody's house. You know something about this person. You know something about that person. Screenshotting stuff and you sending it out there. You ain't got nothing to do. And the thing about it is,
and runaway wives do this.
Yep. And the thing about it is, y'all think y'all doing something in the name of the Lord, but we gonna find out what the Bible says.
Yeah, because it start asking some of them who be doing this. Where your husband at?
Yep.
Are you married? No. So a lot of them be runaway wives, and a lot of them be single sisters that be doing this.
Yep.
No sister that got a strong man in the Lord is doing that. That be those sisters that got them weak husbands, that be these runaway wives, and that be these single sisters that be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
They be doing this. Mad and bitter because it didn't go the way that they wanted it to go.
Mm-hmm.
That they thought it would go. And look at them now.
Yep. And you brothers entertain them. And here, and I'm no longer listening to these brothers that say they speaking for a single sister, but yet the single sister don't see you except for one day a week. And I'm supposed to listen to you, and you supposed to vouch for this sister.
Mm-hmm.
And I might know more about her than you, but go ahead.
So it says, speaking things which they ought not.
Say that again.
Speaking things which they ought not.
Because guess what a woman's supposed to be? She's supposed to be silent and loving. Anything outside of that, if she's not dealing with a man or children, she's speaking things that she has no fucking business speaking about. Like I said, there's no reason for you men to be having conversations with them like that. Because all you doing is they're getting their fill, and then they're gonna go somewhere else and get more fill, and then somewhere else, and then somewhere else.
Sisters, I really hope that y'all paying attention, because we saying this in love, not because we despise you, that we hate you, but we saying this in love because one thing we know, it's not all of you. It's not all of you. And we know that some of y'all will be willing to, to change and willing to, to submit. But at the same time, we don't know until we know. So it comes down to like, okay, even though we know that y'all out there, that you good sisters out there that's longing for a husband, some of y'all probably been done wrong by the very ones that wear fringes and say that he's righteous. I get that. But sisters, understand that some of the things that y'all do, you'll be hurting yourself more than when you're helping yourself. Because then you'll be talking to Johnny over here and Chris over there, and then Michael over here, right? Then you sucking up one doctrine, taking in another doctrine, learning another doctrine over here. And then now you came to me. Think about that. Now you've come to me. Now it's like, oh gosh, now I got to go and reteach and re-educate, which is not a bad thing, but it's to the point where you become this argumentative. Every time I say something, you got a rebuttal. Every time I say something, I'm hearing this. Oh yeah, you're right, but this is my thing. Or okay, hold on, wait. No, because what I'm saying was, and this and it. Anytime I hear you say, okay, yeah, you're right, but now you can give an opinion. Or when I hear you say these key words, to me, I think, or I feel. Yeah, I feel what you're saying, but to me, this is what I X, Y, and Z. Or, all right, well, I just think that it should be done this way. Or I just feel like I don't want to hear that. And these brothers don't want to hear that either. We don't want to deal with that. And some may do, it just depends. But is it easier getting someone who never knew the truth or know very little of the truth, or that's willing to be wiped clean, or come dealing with you? So sisters, you putting yourself at a disadvantage. So I'm trying to help you if you don't want to be put at that disadvantage. Why do you think that in cases where some brothers, they may be teaching women and they turn around and a brother shoot a shot at that woman? Because now he finally found a woman that learns from him, listens to him, and she's soaking in and she's looking at him like, okay, I trust you. I trust to learn from you, brother. Now he's like, I finally got a woman that I can actually teach, that she looks to me as a leader, so I can lead her. I finally found a woman that can shut up. Let me check her out more. And he may end up liking the sister. I'm telling you, it works like that. And this is one reason why some brothers say, look, sis, you only need to learn from me and me only. Because let's face it, sis, one thing we do know and understand that some of these sisters come into this truth and they want the leader. There's nothing wrong with that, though. I want the brother that do X, Y, and Z. That's going to be my king. So now you sitting there, listen to that brother over there, listen to that brother over there. Think about that, sis. And I think I would talk about a little bit more about this in part 2. But now it's like, okay, you learning from her. I mean, you learning from him. It's like, okay, look, sis, we know what some of you sisters be doing. Some of you sisters like 4 and 5 different elders. I'm going to just put it like that. Learning from them. And then now you got brothers at odds with each other because of you. Because of you. So, the same way a brother may be inclined to a woman who he can teach and learn, right? It's the same way how, matter of fact, look at the term sapiosexual, right? Where people are turned on by intellect. You have lots of women and lots of men that is like that. He can finally connect with a person intellectually. That makes him want the person, or that makes her want him. So if you're the type of person that is a sapiosexual, look the word up. You really need to watch who you learn from. Brothers know and understand that. So if you got a brother that you're interested in, my advice is learn and listen to him. Get up under him and learn from him. And soak in what he's teaching you. Don't come listening to me. No, you go and listen to him. Because you're going to have me at odds with him. You see what I'm saying? So if you're interested in that brother, learn from him. Therefore, it ain't got to be no arguments. Well, Judah the Shooter said this. So what? So what? I got brothers who I'm cool with who don't even believe in the virgin birth. I'm cool with that, though. Go listen to him. You see what I'm saying? So, and who knows, maybe the Most High put the spirit on either one of us, be like, yo, hey, we were wrong. I was wrong. Well, I was wrong. That's not your job to worry about that, though, sis. You need to get in order.
I just wanted to this and that. Stop it.
We know
That's what's wrong with you sisters now. A bunch of different penis spirits on y'all. Spiritual penis or freaking physical penis. You're jumping on another man's ride with that nonsense. Stop it.
We know what it is because you get a lot of married women that'll reach out to myself and Judah, and in most cases, that's what it do. That's what it is. Women will start to cleave onto another man's teaching, and they find that attractive. That's evil. And then after a while, you'll watch us over and over and over, and then you get tempted to reach out to us. You'll find a reason to reach out.
Tell me what just happened. Share that shit.
Go ahead, because I gotta use the bathroom.
All right.
So look, share that shit, yeah.
Going off what Mars just said.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to let you hear the next part, what Judah's about to explain, because I'm a witness to this. All right. And I was showing this actually to a woman who I'm actually courting now. So I'm actually courting another woman right now. And it's, for example, one of the reasons how we actually hit it off is because she was attracted to me. She found me attractive. And she found me to be a brother of great understanding. And it was that alone that actually like, yo, you know what? I want to get to know this brother more. And she actually was the one that came and was like, yo, in the sense of, I'm just paraphrasing it. If I was one of your wives, how would this X, Y, and Z be? So she knew and understood that I'm already with 3 wives. And she came in the sense of like, yo, what? I don't mind. You are a very wise brother. You keep the commandments. So understand that we know and we understand this, sisters. So learn from the brother who you trying to deal with, because now it's like, yo, now we gotta look like, okay, you didn't went over here, you didn't went over there, and that's why I was telling earlier about the mileage. You got a lot of mileage. You get what I'm saying? So I want you to pay attention to what Judah's about to say, because it was funny because me and the one I'm courting, we was having a conversation like, see, Hey, look, I'm not the only one who be saying this. Look at what Judah Mosh just said. And then boom, that's why you see I was kind of recording it. I had sent her the clip, and now I'm sharing it with you all. You get what I'm saying? So definitely take heed. Definitely listen. You know, because some Jews about to get dropped. So take these Jews and pick them up. All right. So sisters, look, brothers know and they understand this. And then you about to clearly see why, it's real easy to just, might as well just go get a sister out of the world. Because it's like, what you about to hear, what married sisters be doing. And they married. And y'all brothers just be letting them online running loose here and there and X, Y, and Z. Hey, listen up.
Hey, Brother Judah, and I recognize the sister. She's been watching for a while. Hey, Brother Judah, this is Sister X. And I got to tell you, I still get the screenshots, but I ain't going to read them. I'm going to paraphrase the whole thing. I got to tell you, long story short,
she had a dream about him.
She was having dreams about me and her. And she's married, and she's having dreams that me and her, that I'm a great man in the kingdom of heaven.
Sex in the kingdom.
That's the prophetic dream. She said she's always had dreams. I'm a great man in the kingdom of heaven, and God showed her these wonderful things. And he showed her that in the kingdom of heaven, me and her are going to have sex. And she said it troubled her because, not because of her husband, but because her dreams always come true.
He sent these to her husband.
Needless to say, I showed my Sharathia because I keep accountability around me, because it's important, brothers. Don't be out there by yourself. Brothers, get accountability around you. It's so important. Trust me. Trust me. Or just drown out there by yourself. But I showed my Sharathia and I was like, look at this shit. And he's like, damn, that's crazy. I was like, nah, she's married. Oh, really? Yeah. I contacted her husband. I blasted her. I blocked her, contacted her husband. It was this big whoop-de-doo. Husband hit me back, was like, yeah, okay, cool, thank you. It was turbulent for him and shit. And I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? But you my brother, I don't know you, but we got to look out for each other. Your wife is looking to destroy herself. Get her fucking ass in straight. Save your marriage. Shut her down. A little while later, I don't know what, he let her get back on Facebook, and then he told me that it's okay is it okay if she continues to watch classes because she learns a lot. I thought, that's fucking crazy. You shouldn't be letting her watch me. She already voiced that she had a physical attraction to me. I blew the whistle on it, brother. But fuck it, if that's what you want, brother, cool. I unblocked her. She reached out to me again. I'm like, Mosh, this is the sister reached out. Thank you for, I unblocked her and said, hey, I unblocked you. Your husband said to unblock you, so I did it at the request of your Lord. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you don't answer this message back, boom, 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 because I don't want a dialogue. I'm just letting her know. Don't answer this fucking message back and don't contact me. A few months went by, she contacted me again. I'm like, look at this motherfucker. So I blocked her again. And then I started blocking all the sisters.
Created monster. It says, I will therefore the younger women marry.
So that's your job. You supposed to get married.
Bear children. Guide the house. Give none occasion opportunity to the adversary to speak reproachfully.
Give me that in Revelations, the adversary. Or was it 2 Peter?
On what?
The adversary.
Yeah, 1 Peter 5.
Yeah, 1 Peter 5.
1 Peter
we gonna find
5.
out. It said, don't give occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. Let's see who the adversary is.
1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. Don't it pay us out to be with the swords and you already know what you're talking about?
Yeah, that is right.
What's up? You already know what I want.
Yeah, that's what you know what I want.
Right. Be sober. Be vigilant. Because your adversary, the devil.
The who?
The devil.
Okay, so remember, it said in 1 Timothy 5 that you tattlers, busybodies, going from house to house, speaking things that they ought not. So here it said the adversary, the devil, what does he say?
And those who know Hebrew, Hashatan means the adversary. So that's where you get Satan from. It means the adversary.
Yep, so read that again.
So it says, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour.
That sounds real familiar. That's the same thing that you sisters are doing. Going from house to house, being idle, being busybodies, tattlers, because you working with your adversary. He's doing the same thing. Don't we read that in Job where he said going to and fro, going about?
Y'all doing the same thing.
So remember, your adversary is Satan, the devil.
Mm-hmm.
The devil.
So when you don't have a husband and no man is over you and you're not doing any of those things, guess who your partner is?
Verse 15.
Read on.
For some are already turned after Satan. Didn't I just say that? That means what? Shaitan, which is the adversary.
And here it is. You sisters will hear that and you think that it's me and Moshe that's saying this. The Bible's saying that if you don't have a hedge and you're not doing those qualities of a woman, of raising children, having a man over you, so on and so forth, your daddy is the devil, period. Point blank.
Yeah.
If you got a man or Satan's your man.
Yeah.
I ain't say that. The Bible said that.
So yeah, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It was something else I wanted to say too. I forgot what it was. But sisters understand it's a new day. And we're not finna put up with your stubborn, rebellious ass mouth. That's not finna happen. Just because you got a head wrap on and saying shalom and you put your hand here when you take your pictures don't mean nothing. We want to know if you're going to obey. That's what we want to do. Go to Sirach 26 right quick.
That's right.
Sirach 26.
And
We want to know, are you going to obey?
Oh, Judah said tag him in. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Let me do this one more scripture,
Yeah.
we're going to tag you in. We're going to do one more scripture, we're going to tag you in.
All right, we're gonna tag
and
you
let
in.
you get it all. One more scripture real quick.
Which one? Sirach 26?
Sirach 26. So those of you who
What verse?
we're going to start in verse 1 right quick.
Sirach 26 and 1.
Uh-huh.
Blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife,
So that's a blessing if a man have a virtuous wife. Come on.
for the number of his days shall be doubled.
So another way, it would be as if he lived twice as long because of her. Go ahead.
A virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband,
So in other words, she is a joy to her husband. Go ahead.
and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace.
In stress?
In peace.
In what?
In peace.
In peace. Come on.
A good wife is a good portion,
Mhm.
which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord.
So brother, we got to fear the Lord. Come on.
Whether a man be rich or poor,
So it don't matter about his pockets. Go ahead.
if he have a good heart toward the Lord, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance.
He's going to look cheerful every time you see him. Always happy. Go ahead.
Verse 5. There be three things that mine heart feareth,
Mm-hmm.
and for the fourth I was so afraid.
Come on.
The slander of a city,
So that's going to vicious rumors that's being spread around.
the gathering together of an unruly multitude,
So that's a gathering mob. That's go ahead. What else?
and a false accusation.
Right.
All these are worse than death.
Go ahead.
But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman.
So you get women that be claiming to be virtuous, but yet you are jealous that he has another woman or he wants another woman. How can you say that you're virtuous? You're not virtuous. You're a dragon. Continue.
But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman.
Come on.
And a scourge of the tongue, which communicateth with all.
So that's a woman who causes grief, and that's a woman whose tongue lashes out at everybody. What else to say? This is the verse that that our brother had put up earlier when we were talking about control. Go
An
ahead.
evil wife.
A what?
An evil wife
It comes from the ra'ah, which is bad. An evil wife. Go ahead.
is a yoke shaken to and fro.
So that means that yoke don't fit. Go ahead.
He that hath hold of her
So when like trying to control her is what?
is as though he had held a
It
scorpion.
will be as if he held a scorpion. He's going to get bit. You see that? So go ahead.
A drunken woman and a gatherer abroad cause a great anger,
Mm-hmm.
and she will not cover her own shame.
You see that? She ain't going to conceal her shameless behavior. Go ahead.
The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids.
So you can tell by that woman she's a whore. She's unfaithful.
Yeah, real quick on that. It says the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we be telling y'all sisters about all that damn makeup.
Lashes and all of that.
All
I
that
like
fucking
all of that.
makeup and the fucking screen. The what is that shit? The pictures y'all be
Yeah,
doing.
with the filters and all
yeah,
that.
the filters.
Ladies, we don't like
we
the
don't
lashes.
like all that
Take
shit.
that off.
We don't like
for real.
that. Y'all don't understand. Like, I really want to know what you look like. I'm really trying to see what you look like.
Yeah.
I don't want to see no wig. I want to see how much hair you actually have.
Yeah. Man, straight up. We don't care about all of that. Jump to verse 14 right
Verse
quick.
14.
Come on with it.
A silent
A what?
A silent
Uh-huh.
and loving woman
Right.
is a gift of the
You
Lord.
see that? A silent and a loving wife is what?
Is a gift of the Lord.
Go ahead. So, sisters, you want to be a gift of the Lord? You have to be silent and you have to be loving. God's way in Sirach 26 or Ecclesiasticus, the 26th chapter.
And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
Ain't nothing so much worth as a mind what?
A mind well instructed.
Come on.
Verse 15. A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued.
So you see that her quality is way too precious to measure. In other words, grab verse 24 right quick.
Verse 24. A dishonest woman contemneth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband.
Come on.
Verse 25. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog.
A shameless woman shall be counted as what?
A dog.
A dog. What's a female dog? A bitch.
Yep.
If you read that in the Good News Testament version, it'll tell you a self-willed woman is a bitch. Go ahead.
But she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord.
She gonna fear who?
Fear the Lord.
So sisters, you either shamefaced or you shameless. Which one of the shames you going to take on to?
Yep.
If you shamefaced, that means you are bashful, downcast eyes towards men. Look that up. It'll tell you. It'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying? When you start looking at like 1 Timothy, when it tell you about if you use the word shamefaced, look it up. It'll tell you bashful, downcast eyes toward men. Come on.
A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all.
So that one, so we know submission is one thing, but honor is another thing. Honors her husband. Go ahead.
But she that dishonoreth him in her pride.
Dishonor him in her what?
In her pride.
Right.
Guess what that pride means? It means your attitude. Your funky ass attitude. Especially you black women. I know y'all hate hearing that shit.
Yeah.
But your funky ass attitude is what it's going into. Shall be counted ungodly of all.
Now get this. Last thing, because I know Big Bro want to come on. Grab Proverbs 9 and 13 right quick. Sisters, understand that we as men are not the only ones talking about y'all attitudes. The Bible talks about it. Proverbs 9 and 13. What it say?
Proverbs 9 and 13. A foolish woman.
What kind of woman?
A foolish woman.
It's what?
It's clamorous.
That means she's loud.
Yep.
Full of noise, rage, or tumult, which is a disturbance. Look it up.
She is simple.
She is what?
Simple.
She's smart?
Simple.
She's simple.
And knoweth nothing.
She don't know a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? So write down Proverbs 9 and 13, Proverbs 21 and 9, Proverbs 21 and 16, Proverbs 27 15. And you will see that we ain't the only ones talking about women attitudes in their mouth. Nobody wants to deal with that. So when it said, go ahead.
What you need, kinfolk?
That same verse 34.
All right, 1 Corinthians 14:34. Let your women keep silence in the churches.
Right.
For it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded.
They are what?
They are commanded to be under obedience.
Let's look at that word obedience in that verse. You know what that word means? Obedience. Here we go. It's G in the Strong's G5293. What does that say, Hebrew? For obedience. What does that say?
To subordinate.
Subordinate.
Reflexively to obey.
To what?
Reflexively to obey.
If you are obeying, that means you are taking orders.
Hey, but notice it said, this is a key word, reflexively. That means it's like automatic. It's like a reflex to you to just do it.
To do it. Come on.
Be under obedience.
Be what?
Under obedience.
What else?
Put under. Subdue unto. Be make subject to unto. Be put in subjection to. Under. Submit self unto.
Come on down. There's definition. What does it say?
To arrange under. To subordinate. To subject. Put in subjection.
Come on.
To subject oneself. Obey. To submit to one's control.
One's what?
Control.
What we just talking about that control today? To submit to one's control.
Yep.
Go ahead.
To yield to one's admonition.
Oh.
Or advice.
Or what?
Or advice.
Or advice. Sisters, if y'all don't display those qualities, we're going to look at you as being spoiled. We're not going to want to deal with you if we don't see those qualities within you. This is to the sisters that is desiring to want a husband. Don't let these women who got failed marriages and these single sisters and these bitter baby mamas try to dictate how you should be and try to teach you how to be a wife. You've seen a lot of sisters today. Oh, let me teach you how to be a wife. Sweetheart, go get up under a man first and lead by example. Lead by example first. That's what you need to do. You want to say something, bro?
Yeah, unless you have something else on that.
No. Matter of fact, one more thing. 1 Timothy 2 right quick.
Yeah, I got you, Ken.
1 Timothy 2.
And what?
Verse 11.
Hey, before we get to 11, can you read verse 5?
Come on with
to
it.
have them
Right.
understand who
Correct.
the mediator is.
Mm-hmm.
1 Timothy 2 and 5.
Come on.
For there is one God
Mm-hmm.
and one mediator
Right.
between God and men.
Right.
The man Christ Jesus.
So you see that he's the link between God and men, and that's the Messiah. Come on with it. Who's the head of men? Go ahead.
Where keep going.
Verse 11.
Verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
What does that word subjection means? That means subordination. The same thing, the act of subject to, obedience, subjection. What it says. Submission, in other words. Go ahead.
But I suffer not a woman to teach.
I don't allow a woman to teach. Go ahead.
Nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence.
Read that verse one more time.
But I suffer not a woman to teach,
Mm-hmm.
nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence.
But to be in what?
In silence.
Close your mouth. Come on.
For Adam was first formed,
Right.
then Eve.
Then Eve.
And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression.
Meaning she was the first sinner. You know what I'm saying? No different from like Sirach 25. It tell you of the woman came the beginning of sin. And matter of fact, let's read that right quick. Sirach 25. Let's grab that right quick. Because people be thinking I made that up. Sirach 25 verse 26.
Sirach chapter 25 and verse 26.
Sirach is also known as Ecclesiasticus as well.
Sirach
right.
chapter 25 and verse 24.
24, my bad. I apologize.
Of the woman.
Of the who?
Of the woman.
Right.
Came the beginning of sin.
Come on.
And through her, we all died.
So you see that? So that's what it is. Go ahead, Hebrew. You want to say something?
Yeah, let me get Proverbs 31.
All
right, listen up, brothers. Hey, man, I tell y'all this all the time, and I'm going to set the stage for y'all. Listen up, man. You brothers, we will start at, hold on, let me get there. By who can find a virtuous?
10.
All right. So, check it out. Brothers, you mighty men, you brothers will spend hours, countless hours studying, countless hours speaking to other brothers, countless hours. Some of you brothers will go to the highways and the hedges. You brothers will travel. You brothers will make phone calls with all of us. And you know that the Lord is dealing with you. And you got your ups and downs, so on and so forth. But the one thing that is repetitively with you brothers, when it comes to your personal life, you settle. But you call yourself a mighty man of God. You call yourself a lover of God and the keeper of the commandments, but you will take on a burden that doesn't want to repent and doesn't want to change. Where do you read where God tells you a mighty man of the Lord is supposed to take on a headache?
Or the type of woman that will be like, because some of these women, look, we ain't stupid. We know that some of you women, y'all want to be sexed into submission. You know, you hear women say, oh, well, you know I be tripping, but then when I get some, I'm all good again. You see what I'm saying? So at that point, you got to give her some in order for her to submit to you. That means she ain't married to you. She married to your penis. She's not married to you. She's not in subjection to you. She's in subjection to your penis.
Damn. That hurts, don't it?
Yeah.
Damn, that hurts.
You know what I'm saying? So I've heard women say, oh, well, you know, I can't be submissive because he don't put it down in the bedroom. Women talk like this. So she will base her submission or determine if she's going to submit depending on how good he is in the bedroom, how good he's sexing her.
And with that being said, brothers, hey, perfect segue.
Yeah.
I love this brother. Perfect segue. I'm going to tell y'all brothers something. Read Proverbs 31 and 10.
Proverbs chapter 21 verse 10.
31:10.
Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies.
The Bible says, who can find a virtuous wife? For her price is far above rubies. Sometime, brothers, your ass is going to have to hit the road and you might have to leave this country to find a virtuous. That's why I said, who can find one? It ain't it's not like they just laying around in the street corner and me and Moshe gonna walk around the block and then I can just reach down and grab a few and come back home. It says, who can find? Who can find?
you gonna have to search out that bad boy.
Man, I done found the last 3
I told him that. So with that being, that's why I'm trying to.
I took them all. There's no more here, guys. Go look in another country. These women in America, they too busy arguing over men being polygynous. Oh, this man want another wife and blah, blah, blah. Do you see women in Africa doing that?
No.
Do you see women in Venezuela doing that? Do you see women in Canada doing that? No, you don't see that.
Only
you see that
in
right
America.
here in America. These men want these multiple wives. Meanwhile, 9 times out of 10, she's single for a reason.
And then you settle for these women that tell you these things. I'm telling you, brothers, if you believe in the commandments and if you believe of God and if you believe yourself to be a man of the Lord and you ain't gonna settle for nothing, guess what you do? You get the fuck out of here and you go find one. And absolutely, Judah you and Judah found the last ones. After them, I'm done after that. I'm telling y'all, brothers, go to Africa, go to South America, go to Central America, go anywhere but here. And fuck what these sisters say and any of these brothers. To hell with what any of them say, because that's your life and you got to live it in serving the Lord. And if there's anything that's going to stop you from serving the Lord, it's no good for you in your life. Get the fuck out of here when it comes to them. Build yourself up. If you got to go somewhere else or bring one over here, I highly recommend it because they out there. You know how I know? Because I speak to a lot of them every single day. As a matter of fact, one pinged me on my phone and I haven't responded yet. And I speak to the sister on a regular who's looking for a husband, looking for a righteous man. And she cooks, she cleans, she shuts the hell up. She does whatever she's told to do. She does all that. But guess what? She ain't here though. She don't live here. That's the only thing. You got to go find her. You got to go get her. I already know where some are. But it's y'all's job to go find you one if you believe in the Lord. And if you think the Lord looks at you and says, yes, he's one of my kings. He's one of my priests. He's one of mine. If you believe that, then your ass will go find you one. You will not settle. I promise you won't. And if you believe it, they'll come after you. They out there.
You too busy trying to chase another woman who's already pregnant by another man right now.
Yep.
And want you to be the daddy.
I'm telling y'all, I am done with these motherfucking women over here. You know why? Because they're no good. They're a headache. They unsubmissive. They don't listen. They come with stipulations. They ask 100 million questions before you can even get to know them.
Yeah.
I ain't never had that problem with any of them over there. Anyone that I speak to over there, I don't have that problem. Even if they don't agree, they're very respectful.
Look, get out your feelings, get out your emotions, and don't take this as they're attacking. Understand that men are fed up and they're tired of it. There's a documentary, I gotta find it. There was these brothers, they went to Brazil.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, they went to Brazil because they like how the women in Brazil treat them. And then you heard how they were talking, the difference between those women and women who are in America. You know what I'm saying? So they were raised to respect the man, regardless of his pockets. Today, the woman will matter of fact, Proverbs 12:8 right quick. So they went to Brazil. These brothers had to go out the country to find the woman that was to their liking.
Right, and you know why? And you know why we do this? It's for peace of mind. We ain't doing this for no other reason but peace. That gives us a sound mind. And the scripture tells us that we're supposed to have a woman. And without one, we go up and down mourning. So guess what? Fuck them. Go somewhere else and find one, brother, so you ain't got to fucking be crying over them because they don't want to get right.
Yeah.
You ain't got to do that.
All right. So this is the actual documentary right here. You see it's just under 48 minutes. It's called Frustrated Black American Men in Brazil. It's this powerful documentary. I'll just give you a little snippet really quick.
Like that anymore.
I do think the Brasileiras here could teach the American women some things about how to treat your man, because the drama's just not here with them. I mean, even though they know we're transient, they don't come with you with all the drama. I mean, women in the States, within a week, I'm getting all the drama, all the baggage, and I'll be like, man, I said, we've only known each other for a couple of days, you know, and you hit me with your bad credit, your messed up marriages, and, you know, I'm looking at all this stuff, you know, when I tell you.
He said bad credit. Wow.
I say, women that are telling me they've been married 4 or 5 times, I say, what you need to say is that you've been divorced 4 or 5 times. I said, that tells a person more about you than to say I've been married 4 or 5 times. So I said, something could have happened to you, like you died. But I said, if you tell somebody you've been divorced 4 or 5 times, I said, that lets me know that you got relationship problems. So,
You don't want to win.
right. And I'm not getting into that. I tell women all the time, see your credit report, not your medical report. It tells me more about you than anything else. Anything else. How you handle your business, how you handle your business.
I met a lot of brothers.
And if anybody is looking to get their credit together, brothers, get your credit straight. You know, forget being in the 600 club and all of that. It's 700 and 800 clubs around here. Let's get that credit together. If you need any assistance, let me know. That's a whole nother topic, though. Get your credit together. Get your credit together.
Brothers and I actually right now I have more friends here than I do back at home, because half the time my homies back at home, their wives know that I live here. They know I'm single. They don't want their brothers, they don't want their husbands to know nothing about this place. As a matter of fact, some of them are forbidden to even talk to me. You know, that's the kind of that's the kind of stuff that go on in the Matrix and shit, you know what I'm saying? It's good to meet brothers that travel, you know, like I said earlier, you know, I think that I have more.
Definitely check that out. It's funny because that he said that they're brothers who I was once cool with in the community. Boom, gone, vanished. You know, it was not having that. Being around a brother that's poly. Oh no, they sabotaged that quick. You brothers know who you are. Oh man, we were real good brothers. Not anymore though. But hey, I know what it is. I understand what it is. Hey, you know, you don't have a backbone, just say that. You know what I'm saying? But definitely check that documentary out. That's the documentary that I was actually speaking about. Let's continue.
Straight up. Now go ahead. Proverbs 12 and verse 8.
Proverbs 12 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
A man shall be commended.
A man shall be what?
Commended.
Commended comes from Hebrew halal, which means praised, looked upon. Go ahead.
A man shall be commended according to his wisdom.
So you see that today the woman will commend a man not according to his wisdom, but according to his bank account, according to what kind of car he drives, according to how big his penis is, according to his muscles, according to yeah, we can tag you right on back in. So these women would commend them according to those things, but the Bible says a man is supposed to be commended according to his wisdom. Today, you brothers is looking for a wife. They are looking for a stepdaddy.
Yep,
that's who they looking for, and we've seen it. And get this, sisters, it's no offense, but get this: if we wrong, prove us wrong through your actions, not through your mouth. Brothers, learn to listen. Not with your ears, but with your eyes. So we hear what you say, but we're going to watch what you do. We ain't seeing sisters that's teaching women to be obedient. We're not seeing that. You know what I'm saying? So if we see it on a consistent basis, then yeah, we see it. And we know.
And don't give me no lip about I wasn't raised by my parents, this and the third. You know why? Because now I speak to sisters over there who have parents have passed away. And they going through some struggles, but yet they still do exactly what they supposed to be doing, and they not disrespectful.
And if you mad, a hit dog holler, and the emptiest wagon make the most noise.
And
the emptiest wagon make the most noise. They'll be the one that's going to sneak dissing on his post. You're the ones that we be talking about.
Exactly. And the thing about it is, these sisters want to submit to somebody. They want to be wives. These are the things that they know that they were created for. You brothers, again, you gotta want that for yourself. I'm gonna tag you in, Judy.
Yeah, and you brothers got a disobedient wife. Hey, bro, don't sit there and take that. Get a second wife. Get a second wife. Period.
Remind me the
dress after.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, I ain't forget. How you doing?
Yeah.
All right. So get a second wife. You ain't got to sit and wait to her to get her hair stuck out of her rear end. You know, that second wife going to come and appreciate and love you. Going to appreciate and love you. Straight up. And understand, if it's cutting you, sisters, you're the reason why we making this video.
Yeah, and I'm just going to say this about the Africa thing, because I've had conversations with these sisters, and it's been months on, I'm talking about 6, 7, 8 months,
And I can't tell you one argument that I've had with any of them. Not one argument. Not one. No yelling, no screaming, no you ain't this, you ain't that. Even the ones who are worldly and don't know anything, heavy in the Christian church, they don't even do that. They don't talk back, they don't argue. The only thing you will get is, dang, I didn't know that was in there. Oh, okay, I see it.
Man, I ain't never got into one argument. Look, let me paint this picture for y'all. I ain't never got into one argument. Not one argument. I ain't never heard my wives raise their voice, and I got 3.
I've never heard
one time.
I can vouch for. I've never heard them argue. I've never heard them yell. Yell it. I've never heard none of that. I've seen Judah Moshe say or whatever. If he needs something, if he demands get done, man, nothing changes about them. It's nothing personal. They love this man, and this man loves his wife.
Oh, I love them, man.
When the scripture, understand this. When the scripture talks about a silent and loving woman, we ain't talking about just having a woman shut the fuck up. Because we love their company. I love conversing with them. I love having to go out and you do things with your wives. The silent and the loving is the sin and you shutting the fuck up and your arrogancy and your pride.
Yeah.
That's what it's going into.
Yeah, and that don't mean that my wives don't make mistakes. They do.
Exactly.
But they don't disrespect me.
Exactly.
They don't do that. They don't dishonor me in their pride. They do not do that. My first wife, we came into the truth together. My second wife, I brought her into the truth. And my third wife, she knew about us being Israelites, but she wasn't really walking in the truth like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like basically it was these 3 women that basically got brought into the truth up under me. You know what I'm saying? So I see the benefits of getting a woman in the world. My second wife was in the world. In the world. First wife in the world. You know what I'm saying? And
go ahead.
All right, so that concludes part 1. I want to cut it short because I'm about to go into part 2. All right, so you just saw part 1. I'm about to do part 2, so definitely be looking forward to it. Most High willing, I may post it back to back, or I may wait a little second and then post it because I don't want people watching part 2 first before they've seen this one. All right, so I'm about to go ahead, end it here, and I'm about to do part 2. So definitely be waiting on it. And sisters, hopefully this is edifying. If you like this one, part 2 is finna go down. It's finna go down. All right, so again, this is not lessons like how I normally do on this channel, but this is definitely beneficial for sisters to know and understand how most brothers feel with dealing with you sisters that are seasoned in the truth already. All right, so we're going to end it here. I'm about to do part 2. Hopefully this was edifying to somebody. Again, look, sisters, we're not angry at y'all. We not, we don't hate y'all or despise y'all, but we want to let y'all in on a bit of a secret, if you will. All right, let y'all in on some understanding so that y'all can fully understand probably some of the reasons why it may be hard for you to find somebody. But guess what, sister? I got good news. This isn't it. I'm about to show part 2. Part 2, what I had got a lot of good feedback. A lot of sisters reached out like, yo, I never knew that. Oh, wow, that makes sense. All right. So again, till next time, Most High willing, part 2. Shalom.